Diggy diggity bum bum bay. Diggy diggity bum bum bay. Diggy diggity bum bum bay. We vote in PNP. Hey, hey, hey. Everybody voting. They voting in time. Shelling, yes we shelling. They voting PNP. PNP down the line. PNP down the line. We voted. PNP down the line. We voted. There was this lady. She don't know what to do.
Good evening, Turks and Caicos, and welcome to another episode of This Is What's Up, probably our final episode. And so we have a great crew for you. The election fever is in the air. We're just 3 days away, 3 days away. So I hope everybody out there that's ready to vote, is ready to vote, and everybody is getting their mind gears up. And so now we have a special episode for you this evening with some of our distinguished stalwarts, former MPs. We have some of our caretakers here, so we'll get right into the episode. Of course, we have Honorable Royal Robinson, Honorable Lillian Boyce, Honorable Floyd Hall, and one of our caretakers, Mr. Skippins. How are you? Mr. Skipper,
Stubbs.
how are you? How are you?
I'm good.
All is well?
Yes, sir.
Good. Honorable Hall, how are you?
I'm very well, and it's Jeffrey Hall.
Is that Jeffrey Hall? Sorry, I said Floyd. My bad. You know,
It's okay.
it's been many long nights, so you know how that goes.
No
Yep. Yep. Honorable Boyce, how are you?
I'm good. It's good to be here too.
Yes, and Honorable Robinson, last but not least.
Yes, it's good for me to be out here tonight with all the stalwarts and former chairman.
Yep. And just getting into it, guys. How's the fevers in the air? You know, as the premier always says, it's not too long now. We're literally 3 days away before history is going to be made again. A new government will be sworn in, and a new government will be formed, and it's the beauty of democracy. And I just want to, you know, from your perspective, you know, let me ask three of you who have ran before. You know, what is this like coming this close to election? What's like the nerves feeling like? I'll start with you, Honorable Jeffrey Hall. How are you? And about that, and how does that feel going into election?
Well, I tell you, when it's this close to the actual election date,
Yep.
believe me, people already made up their mind
Yep.
what they're going to do.
Yep.
So the only thing the candidates can do is to keep their presence out there.
Yep.
To not always let them see themselves in the community.
Yep.
With their people, and that's all. People have already made up their mind. And I've been throughout Providenciales and to North. Haven't been to the rest of the island, and the people in this country right now are eager and ready to go PNP.
Love to hear it. Honorable Boyce, what about you? What would you give? What would the advice be to somebody that's running? Maybe even a new candidate. Let's say the new four that are running right now. Of course, the at-large platform didn't exist when you ran. But what would you say to the new four at large right now that are running? And what should they be doing in these last waning 36 hours?
Well, it's so good to be here, and
Yes.
I just want to give my advice to especially our new candidates, our new at-large candidates. I agree with Jeffrey, who said they must stay visible.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Stay visible, stay in your constituency.
Yep.
Well, for the at-large, they would have to stay throughout the Turks and Caicos Islands.
Yep.
Ask everyone
Mm-hmm.
for their vote.
Yep.
Stay prayed up.
Yep.
That's important because during the last days of election, you can be so busy,
Mm-hmm.
and so you must know where your strength comes from God.
Yep.
And you must stay prayed up. And when you do that, your faith increases, and you know exactly once you've done the work,
Yep.
because faith without work is dead.
Yeah, absolutely.
Once
Amen.
you've done that work
Yep.
and you leave it in God's hands,
Yep. That's it.
you know you will be victorious.
Definitely. Honorable Robinson, what about you? What at this juncture here would you tell a candidate? Let's just say, you know, we were talking about like maybe some of the races. What would you say to a candidate where a race is projected to be close? What would you say to a candidate now in these last waning moments? You know, 36 hours. You know, you got that 36 hours to make a difference. I'll give an example. Last election, we had two races that came within the margin of 20 votes. I believe it was Blue Hills and Wheeling. What would you say to a candidate right now that is maybe thinking that they're razor-thin margins right now?
The first thing you have to do is make sure that you have your list, your voters list down pat.
Yep.
That's number one. You have to have the lists of those voters.
Mm-hmm.
They have to have their telephone contacts. And then you have to get your ground game out.
Yep.
Because the persons could well and truly be supporting you.
Yep.
But if you can't get them to the polls to vote for you, you're in trouble.
Yep.
So all your transportation have to be locked in. The persons who will be picking up people from various parts of the constituency, because some people can't get to the polls by themselves, so they need assistance. So you have to have their drivers at the ready, transportation at the ready.
Yep.
So come 6 o'clock in the morning,
Yep.
you should start mobilizing your people to get to the poll.
Yep.
For me, it's always been by 10, 11 o'clock,
Yep.
the bulk of your voters in that constituency in particular should have voted.
Yep.
Get to the line, vote, and go and relax.
Yep.
And then the candidates would start looking to say, well, after I looked at my list, you got Straggler and over back one. You
Yep.
got Straggler and Invest Road 2.
Yep.
So you make sure that those people who are contacting them,
Yep.
who are going to pick them up to get them to vote, say, look, I look at the list that's gone through the polling station already, and Tom Brown, Mary Sue are missing. Go and find Tom Brown and Mary Sue and bring them to the polls, so that by 12 o'clock, it's done and dusted.
Definitely, definitely. And I'll go to you, the skipper on the crew, and you know, of course, you haven't ran, at least in my opinion, fully, you know, like these other candidates, but I know you've been so intimately involved in so many campaigns.
Sure.
You know, what I would ask you though, Skip, is you know, from your point of view, you know, being on the ground, what usually do you think can be gained in these last like waning days? You know, the last week of an election, what can a candidate truly gain? You know, to really so to say turn a tide to bring something in their favor from your perspective?
Well, I would say, you know, Honorable Boyce made a strong point.
Yep.
I told you earlier. I believe first thing is prayer and
Yep.
faith.
Yep.
Prayer and faith. All right? I've ran.
Yep.
You say I didn't run.
No, I said I
Hey,
don't
I'm
remember.
answering you. I don't need words.
Yeah.
One strange thing, a lot of people know that.
Yep.
I've ran because from 2001,
Yep.
with every candidate of this PNP, I've been on the road
Yep.
with them in the election,
Yeah.
coaching them, telling them where we will gain points, where we will lose points. Sometime, Honorable Boyce, these same Honorable Jeffrey Hall, Honorable Robinson, I was the chairman of the
Yeah.
PNP during that time.
Yep.
I had to go to each rally and set up each rally. So it's constantly running. Right now, I go to just about every key rally to set up, and wherever I see there are flaws,
Yep.
I try to point it out to the candidate.
Yep.
All right? I think that people already have the election won,
Yep.
but you have to be careful now because you don't want to make that mistake.
Yep.
Honorable Robinson said that you have to go out there and ensure that every voter, every supporter of yours gets to the poll. And in this new election cycle where we're learning how to, when I say new election cycle, because there's a new way to vote. We have to really push the message of how you vote.
Yep.
All right? We have to push the message of how you vote.
Yep.
Those candidates that are new, I would like for them to contact the experience that they get on. You have here in this team. Honorable Boyce, I can finish up right now. I remember I was running for the chairman of the PNP. I lost that chairmanship.
Yep.
And when she met me after the election, you know, she says, Skipper, I can't believe you lost, but guess why you lost? So you didn't even ask me for a vote. You have to consider that right now, anybody who you meet,
Yep.
you have to ask them for that vote, even if you think they are with you. Because if your opponent asks them for the vote,
Yes.
they might feel like, you know something, Honorable Boyce, like she said me,
Yep.
all of us, this is a party race, you know.
Yeah. Yep.
So, oh man, your opponent asked me and you didn't ask me.
Yep.
You can't have that much confidence. That's why in the PNP right now,
Yep.
we're going to campaign until the last second.
Yep.
Because we know we have done right for the people,
Mm-hmm.
but we just want to continue to ask everyone in the Turks and Caicos to please look for the shell when you get to the poll and give us your support once more to develop a stronger Turks and Caicos. Thank you.
Definitely. So let's go into it because what everybody wants to know now is they want to hear your brilliant minds on some of the races that are out there. And now that we are just about, right at election day, and I guess Honorable Hall, you said something that was key, that most people's minds are made up. Being that it may be that case, let's take it from ED1. So let's go right over there in Grand Turk North. So we have a very interesting race, to say the least. You have a former representative who was the most recent representative before our current representative, and Honorable Lightburn, and then you have Honorable Morris. I don't know who wants to take this. I kind of want everybody to kind of give a little dispatch on this, but let me start with you, Honorable Hall. In a race like this, where do you think the lines will be drawn? Because you have two people that are probably very familiar in the constituency. I think you ran in a race that was similar to this. I was a young guy then. I think you ran against Honorable Sam Harvey, did you? The first time?
Yeah, that's
I think
correct.
I remember in 1999, you
That's
were one of the
correct.
surprise wins.
Yeah.
You and Honorable Boyce, I remember that.
That is
I
correct.
was about 10 years old, believe it or not, then. So in a race like this, where you have two people that are, let's say for all intents and purposes, known to the community, strong enough candidates that they could carry their own weight, what do you think makes the difference, or what would make the difference in this race to you?
Well, in my opinion, in ED1, that constituency has been traditionally voting PNP from
Yep.
ever since I can remember. The PNP is the government that is in power, and they have done quite a lot for this country, and ED1 benefit from it.
Yep.
Okay, so the PNP candidate who's running that constituency, just have to remind them
Yep.
of what the party has done.
Yep.
Sometimes people need that reminder and reflect back and, oh yes, that's right.
Yep.
So he needs to do that, and he needs to keep himself visible
Yep.
until the day
Yeah.
of election.
Definitely.
Okay, so and if he does, people have already made up their mind.
Yep.
But at the last hour,
Yep.
things could happen.
Just
and
a little something
oh,
in
yeah,
there.
just a little
Yeah.
something there, So you
Yeah.
just have to be on top of it. Keep visible.
Definitely.
Keep visible. Keep asking for the vote, and keep reminding people of
Yep.
what this government has done for this country.
Definitely. Skipper, you look like you were going to interject and say something.
Yeah, I
there.
was about to interject because my take on it is that the opponent is a former PNP
Yep.
candidate. All right, and what I found that a lot of parties like to do is to try to kind of use that. But I want to ask the voter, where was this person in the past 4 years? Okay, where was they in trying to fight for your development, fight for your rights,
Yep.
fight for your community?
Yep.
What happened to them in the past 4 years?
Yep.
Okay?
Wow.
Look at the work of Honorable Morris
Yep.
in the past 4 years.
Yep.
I watched this gentleman when I think the fire truck or something was broken down, literally roll up his sleeves. He was a member of parliament, a minister. Went on there and fix it.
Yep.
All right?
Yep.
Where was his opponent in the past 4 years?
Yep. And I'll go to you, Honorable Robertson, because you're very familiar with Grand Turk. What's your temperature on a race like this, and what do you think would make sort of that underlying difference of when people say, you know what, I'm going to go this way or I'm going to go that way? What do you think, just from knowing the history of that island, what do you think happens there?
Well, Skipper pointed out one part of the equation is that the Honorable George Lightburn was a former member and minister for that constituency. And I think it is just him taking on the mantle of the PDM is like try to do a wedge between base PNP support
Yep.
and himself,
Yep.
right? Now, because he is hoping that the PNP would be so foolish as to vote
cross
for
over.
him,
Yeah.
cross over and vote for him. That's a difficult proposition for most of the voters over there, because they are mainly diehard PNP to the core. And I think that Honorable Otis has done sufficient to earn their trust and respect.
Yep.
And he is carrying the banner for the Progressive National Party over the past 4 years, and he has carried it well. Now, Honorable George, he dropped out of the political scene for quite some time, and I think he's resurrected himself, or the PDM couldn't find a candidate, so they tried on Honorable George, because Honorable George wanted to get in the race. But let's remember, the time that he was, when he was going to have the runoff
Yep.
between himself and Honorable Otis, he lost. I mean, it wasn't a contest.
Yep. Yep.
Right? So, and that's between the PNP base, not anything else. Between the PNP base, there's no basic contest. So I don't see how now he's going to be able to garner any of the PNP support.
Yep.
So he has to hope that the PDM base turns out, and the PDM base, they still got to. If you look at the history of politics and TCI, right, there's hardly been someone on the PNP side
Yep.
that stepped over on the PDM side and won.
Yep.
People have come from the PDM side and joined the PNP and have won.
I never thought of it that way.
Yeah, look at it, and that's a fact. So it should tell you he has a hard road to hoe.
To hope, yeah.
Definitely, right?
Definitely.
So, I mean, I wish him well.
Yep.
But I'm sincere in knowing that.
You don't wish him that well,
No,
they
no,
even win.
I can tell you, like you just told me, you don't have to craft words for me.
Yeah.
But I know that Honorable Otis Morris is going to put a good spanking on Honorable George Lightman and send him back to where he was for the past 4 years.
Yeah, good. And so I'm gonna skip ahead because we
No,
want to
I
make.
wanna make a
I'm gonna let you make a comment
contribution,
here.
to this.
I was gonna skip ahead and ask another question on to that same question, but let me let you get in there, Honorable Boyce.
Yeah, because I think Honorable Otis
Yep.
is a unique person, and he's been a very kind and compassionate
Yep.
representative in his constituency. Skipper just spoke about him showing that what kind of servant he is of the people, rolling up his sleeves on
Yep.
perhaps, wearing a suit
Yep.
and getting down to work.
Yep.
I've watched pictures with him painting the road or cleaning, and when you can stay with your people and work with them and for them,
Yep.
even in the domestic areas, as you do in Parliament, people don't forget that.
Yep.
And so I believe also the input, the contribution that Honorable Floyd Hall has made to that constituency is going to be for a lifetime. I can
Definitely.
tell you that because
Definitely.
he worked so hard in that constituency. People would always remember it, and they will pay that forward to the PNP.
No, definitely.
So Honorable Otis is going to win that seat.
Definitely. You kind of took the question. You answered the question that I was going to ask you next.
Oh.
But anyway, since you've answered that, I'll let you start with the next race. So we have ED2 now, similar to ED1, like everybody has said here. Traditionally, powerhouse PDM seat for many reasons. I would assume. We have Mr. Lake Gardner running in that seat for the PNP, the Progressive National Party, and of course going against the leader of the opposition, Honorable Edwin Oswood. In a race like this, where the odds are against you, we saw this 4 years ago as well in Wheeling, right? Similar race type of thing. where you have a traditional seat always going to a candidate, what would you, Honorable Boyce, say to someone like Honorable Lake Gardner at this moment in time about what not only what he should be doing, but where his optimism should be going into the ending days of this race, and to keep the fight going? What would you say about his optimism? On how should his whole energy be to finish out this whole race?
Well, you can tell that my motto is, again, ask everyone
Yep.
for
Yep.
their vote.
Yep.
Do not, I know some candidates
Yep.
pass over
Yep.
the PDM house or the PNP house.
Yep.
And don't ask and say they are die hard.
Yeah.
Believe
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
some people are waiting to
Yep.
be asked.
Yes.
They want a reason to vote for you, but you
Yep.
didn't ask. So they continue to do
Yep.
the normal thing that they do every election.
Exactly.
And we have to start winning people, new brand people over. Show them the party's record, which
Yep.
is absolutely great.
Yep.
And once you show them the record, and politics is personal.
Yep.
So when you start telling people, look, I'll speak for you. I
Yep.
will provide opportunities for you. I will see that your life is changed.
Yep.
You sell people a true story, and people will move from their norm, their place of complacency, their seat of complacency,
Yep.
and they'll try something new. And
Yep.
Honorable Lake has been working for people through national insurance for so many years. His wife, Rita, she is a compassionate, kind woman in that constituency.
Yep.
I think she ran there herself, so
Yep.
they have a history
Yep.
with the people.
Definitely.
There's no reason why he cannot win that seat. Hard work, and it's not too late.
Yep.
Although 2 days,
Yep.
if we put a
Yeah, 2
team in
days,
that
yeah.
constituency,
Yep.
and now that we have Mr. Bean, who will be splitting up those votes,
Yeah. And, you taking all the questions right out of my
listen
mouth.
here, he have a great chance to
Yes.
win that seat.
Definitely. And that's what I was going to go to you, Honorable Hall, is just saying, what does that third party or that third person wild card throw into a race like this?
Well, there's something about ED too that we probably forgot. When they did the electoral boundary, quite a number of voters
Yep.
from the north
Yep.
who were traditionally PNP
Yep. Came over to the south.
came over to the south.
Okay.
So that could give
That could
him
have implications on both sides, to
that
some
could
degree.
give-
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
of course
hopefully,
it can. but-
hopefully we have enough strength in that side, eh?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. So that
Yeah.
can give him, some comfort because of that.
Yeah.
Now, Mr. Bean, very, very popular guy, very, very nice person, who's running that constituency, very respected.
Yep.
However, running independent, I am sure he's going to get some vote. Now, whether or not his voters are traditionally PDM,
Yep.
that will be a factor.
Yep.
And it will probably hurt the leader of the opposition. But in any case, if I were a voter in that constituency, from the time I listened to that debate, I would not vote for my leader.
Yep.
The answers that he gave to the questions that were asked by the host were so incoherent,
Yep.
and I mean rambling and smashing. It was ridiculous. 20 of us sat down and watched the debate, and all of us left the room no wiser than we went in
Yeah.
because of the answers that he gave.
Yeah.
So for me, I avoid him no votes, and
Yeah.
may God have mercy on his soul.
Yeah.
I believe Lake will do very well in that constituency.
Yeah. And I go to the skipper here.
Again, like you said, right?
Yep.
Being the person always on the campaign trail, not in the campaign, I remember Couch gave him a run for his money.
Yep.
Couch. Then last election, we had a young gentleman,
Mr. Misick. Yeah.
Mr. Misick.
That's right.
And prior to that, that same Rita,
Yep.
Rita Garden, I think she only lost by 5 votes. All right. And the Lake has done so much himself, and some of the people that I see supporting Lake and has
Yep.
come on board. All right, and if I look, when I was in Grand Turk, there's a simple as a kids park behind the leader of the opposition's gym
Yep.
on lockdown, not clean, not maintained.
Yep.
And you are a man telling me you're into sports and people. And what you do for your community, all right, for 20 or 30 years,
Yep.
now, those people should remember. They want some fresh blood. I think that we can have a new, fresh face in that area.
Definitely. And last but not least, Honorable Robinson, the Grand Turk stalwart here on the show.
Yeah, I mean, for me, as you look at it, right, the majority of the older voters
Yep.
in the constituency, many of them will probably stick with the PDM. But if you look at Mr. Lake's track record in the last 20, 30 years, he has been with the youth
Yep.
of all the things, recreational activities at his sports center in Baxalina, always promoting youth forever and ever. So he has an affinity with them. And the night when Moses came over and endorsed him, that told everybody
Yep.
the type of man Mr. Walter Lake Gardner is. I felt so good about that endorsement
Yep.
that soon afterwards I sent him a WhatsApp
Wow.
that night because it was heartfelt. It was a story of how a young child trying to make do, and the young child came from a what we'll call an impoverished home initially, right?
Yep.
And wanting a bicycle.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
I heard that story. yes.
eventually, Mr. Gardner said, "Take the bike."
Yep.
You know that's from the heart.
Yep.
You know, and so he has that feeling, that empathy towards people,
Yep.
and particularly the young people. And I see the young people gravitating towards him in this election cycle.
Yep.
So, and all of us have been talking about asking, and my thing has always been, ask somebody,
Yep.
ask the person. I
Yep.
know there's a fellow from South Caicos. He went and was working in North Caicos when I was running.
Yep.
And I spent hours and hours talking to that gentleman. And you know, he's in Provo. You know who he is? He's in PNP.
All the way.
You understand? You have to, what I'm saying, you put in the work for yourself initially, but
Yep.
somebody else reap the benefit.
Yep.
So what I'm saying is that Mr. Lake Gardner has a lot of benefit
Yep.
to reap in that
constituency,
constituency.
definitely.
And people have been saying that the last couple of years in particular, when Honorable Leader of the Opposition, as leader of the PDM, he hasn't done what he's supposed to do for the community itself. So it's difficult. You have to ask the people, say, hold your nose really and go and vote for him as a PDM supporter.
Yep.
Because you have nothing to show in the community
Yep.
that he himself has spearheaded for the community, that benefited the community, and engender some affinity towards him.
Definitely. And this is a good segue because the next constituency is ED3. It's been a lot of noise in ED3, a lot of noise. I think we had a very interesting rally over the weekend, and it's gotten a lot of people fired up. I was telling somebody, I think the premier started this cursing a little bit, because I think he said he grew up barefoot and bare ass. And then since then, we went from there to the S word, and then I saw the PDM went to the F word. So I don't know what word we go into next, but to keep it there, ED3, we have a very interesting race. And again, another race where we have an independent candidate in the race, looking that in some ways maybe even stronger than the PDM candidate. And coming from South Caicos, not to be unfair or just to be fair from what I'm hearing on the ground, it seems like a 2-horse race. But either way, still a 3 horses in the race. I'll start with you, Honorable Robinson. Traditionally, again, PNP stronghold, a seat that, I think similar to ED2 in some ways, that where, the way that people are running against the PNP is just to say, hey, candidate, over and over, you've always voted for this party. What would you say, being a supporter of Honorable Malcolm and the PNP, what would you say to the people of South Caicos and why they should keep it where they got it? Don't rock the boat.
Yeah, and if you listen to what's being happening, and people were saying, some of the people on the ground, right? I think some people are accusing Honorable of being too laid back in the community and not very visible. But sometimes, take it like this: the dock is on the top of the water, but down below, his feet are pedaling.
Ah, boy, that's a good analogy.
You know, so you just see the slow motion up at the top,
yeah,
where the dock is moving gently ahead, but down below, a lot of motion is taking place, right? Now, this time around, the candidate in Mississippi, backed by Honorable Henschel, has gotten a little bit more traction, even than Honorable Henschel did the last time when Henschel ran. Because Honorable Henschel ran and got a good spanking. I told him he was going to get it. I told him that, right? But he has his horse in the race. And I think that he has learned some lessons, and he's now putting some more oomph behind this horse that he has in the race. But I think sincerely, because remember now, the only independent candidate that won in South Caicos was Honorable Norman Saunders, and that's a one-off situation.
Some people would say that's the GOAT. That kind of way. You can't. That's once in a lifetime thing.
So it's difficult, right? For the young man to overcome some of that ingrained PNP support that's there.
Definitely.
Right? And now, from what I've been hearing too, he's garnered a lot of the PDM support. Because one of the persons that endorsed him and put their name for him to run was a PDM some time ago, right? So he's doing a little bit of crossover because the true PDM candidate in the race is not in the race, really. Because I heard people say she left from South Caicos as Karen. And she came back as Hynata. So we don't know who that person is.
And this is why I love this show, because we're gonna get the real tonight. Honorable Boyce, what about this? I mean, and I want you to speak more so to Reverend Malcolm, because you being in the area of faith and everything and all of that, obviously, to his character and sort of some of the same things Honorable Robinson has said. Sometimes above the surface you're just seeing the slow movement, but beneath the surface, speak more to that and who Honorable Malcolm is and why you think still here today, not just think, but why you would say to the people of South Caicos, hey, keep it where you got it.
Well, I knew him for many, many, many years because I've been in the Baptist church as well while he was a pastor there. And I know then, while I was in government, he worked in government in the drug rehab area. Dedicated man. And South Caicos, like Five Keys, need those hands, praying hands, kind and compassionate. Most of the things that Honorable Malcolm is doing for South Caicos, he can't share it. I'm sure he is taking very good care of South Caicos, and I have heard constituents testify to it. And it's better for them to testify and say what he's doing,
Yep.
because he can't tell people
Everything, yeah.
the private,
Yeah.
compassionate stuff that he is doing for his constituents.
Mm-hmm.
And he is much like Honorable Sanders and Honorable Emily, well, both Sanderses,
Yep.
who took care of South Caicos.
Mm-hmm.
They took care, and he is taking care of the needs of people,
Mm-hmm.
physically, mentally, and now they're getting the development that South Caicos always yearned for.
Mm-hmm.
I would say to South Caicos, please vote Honorable Malcolm back as your representative.
Mm-hmm.
He just can't go around and brag about the things that he's doing.
Yep.
But
Yep.
he is the caring, giving person that South Caicos need.
Yep.
And so please keep it where you got it, South Caicos. Don't rock the boat.
Yeah. And Honorable Hall, I don't know why I thought about you when I wanted to bring to this question, but how do you, sometimes they have a saying, sometimes the grass is green on the other side, right? How do you guard against that? You coming in, there's something that looks shiny. We're going to do this, we're going to do that. And how do you, sometimes people would say, steady seems boring, you know what I mean? How do you encourage people to still stay and say, hey, grass isn't always green on the other side, we need to keep it where we got it. How would you go about that? And what would be your advice to Honorable Malcolm in these last few days?
Yeah, well, I could appreciate the independent candidate and bringing this kind of excitement
Yep.
to this whole politics thing at South
Yep.
Caicos, and people may seem to gravitate to him.
Mm-hmm.
But I still go back to tradition.
Mm-hmm.
South Caicos has always been predominantly PNP.
Mm-hmm.
And when the rubber hits the road,
Yep.
South Caicos is going to go with their party.
Yep.
So here's what Honorable Malcolm needs to do.
Yep.
Remind the people of South Caicos what his government has done.
Yes.
The things his government has delivered.
Yes.
South Caicos is on the poise to some great development. American Airlines will be going to South Caicos.
Talking about
American
that,
Airlines.
American
just
Airlines.
even coming out of the south, and I was saying the airport there is going to be it's immaculate,
Absolutely.
definitely
Absolutely.
ready for business.
I know, and
Yeah.
a few resorts are going to
Yeah.
open their doors, and so South Caicos look promising.
Yes.
So that's all he needs to do.
Yep.
Show, remind the
Yep.
people of South Caicos what this
Yep.
government has done. And
Definitely.
he has no problem. South Caicos will deliver a PNP candidate in the
Definitely.
next general election.
And I have to go, of course, to our resident South Caicos native on the show to bring this one home. It was purposely done this way, to make sure that we get the last word from our guy from South.
Well, I was born in South Caicos.
Yep.
I was born in a place that is known to be PNP.
Definitely.
All right, PNP.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I would tell the young man, Mr. Seymour, I have a lot
Yep.
of respect for him.
Yep.
All right. He is a PNP.
Mm-hmm.
Face it.
Yep.
He is a PNP. He actually was trying to run off in the PNP runoff against Honorable Malcolm and Jamaica.
Yep.
Unfortunately, it didn't happen, and Jamaica and Honorable Malcolm had the runoff, and Honorable Malcolm came on top.
Yep.
All right, so I could understand where he is because he wants to represent. All right, now is not the time.
Yep.
It's PNP time.
Yep.
Okay, I would tell the people of South Caicos to continue to look for the shell.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, look at what is happening in South Caicos.
Yep.
The redevelopment of the airport,
Yep.
one. Sail Rock, the redevelopment of the High Point Hotel. Okay, these things I look, not High Point, the East Bay.
East Bay. Yep.
I remember looking how we end up in Provo because those hotels wasn't open up
Yep.
under no other administration but the PNP.
Yep.
Okay, and the PNP seemed like don't take credit for it. Honorable Rufus Ewan, East Bay open up under. All right, it's being redeveloped, it's being rebranded, and when I look at it now, that my 84-year-old mother, instead of flying on Bahamas here into Providenciales, can go to Florida and land in our hometown.
Wow.
That's a big thing.
Awesome.
The big is going to be back in South.
Yep.
You know, when airlines first were coming into the Turks and Caicos, the international airline either had to catch them out of Grand Turk or out of South Caicos.
Yep.
Look at what this government has done.
Yep.
You had a hurricane that devastated South Caicos like anywhere else.
Yep.
Really devastated South Caicos. Look at the redevelopment of the area, the cleanup, what is happening over them.
Yep.
The airport, I was waiting for 30 years, from Ike for the airport to complete. The airport is complete, completed under Honorable Washington Misick. Okay? Let's continue to look forward for more things from your candidate. I understand that, Honorable Malcolm ain't gonna be to the dock with the people who drinking and cussing all the time because he's a minister. All right?
Yep.
And sometimes people want that.
Yep.
You understand? But Honorable Robinson said that the duck that you see floating on top of the water is pedaling. It's pedaling. It's pedaling. South Caicos, you have a candidate that we have from the PNT right now, Honorable John Malcolm, always there to represent you. Listen to the debates in the House. Keep it where you got it.
Definitely, definitely. Well, let's keep it moving. I know there's a lot to get through. We're almost halfway through our constituencies and getting our expert opinions tonight, which I'm loving. I think the people love to hear this. We're down to ED4. Oh boy, this is. I know where I need to end this one, but I know where I'm going to start this one. I'm going to start this one where I finish this one. ED4, North and Middle Caicos, the Twin Islands. This is my hometown too, so this one is special to me. Skip, a race like this, I'll say this. Let's put it like this. What would you say in this race where all signs point to being total victory, but what would you say to a candidate to make sure, hey, don't get ahead of yourself? You remember there was a Super Bowl. The Atlanta Falcons were up 28-3 going into halftime. In football terms, that's like, hey, it's all over. Go to bed. Get the sprinkles going. What would you say to a guy like Honorable Musgrove right now saying, hey, you know what? Level head, keep it steady. How would you go and approach this in these final days?
I would tell Honorable Musgrove to just continue to be yourself, my brother. Honorable Musgrove took the commitment before the last general election to move from Providencialis. His whole everything, his businesses are here, but he moved into his hometown, North Caicos.
Yep.
He's a North Caicos man. Okay? Honorable Musgrove cares for the people of North and Middle Caicos genuinely. All right? It's not doing it just for election.
Yep.
Not doing it just for election. Honorable Musgrove is a genuine person, a North Caicos man. I remember, like I tell you, I've been on the campaign. I've campaigned forever.
Yep.
These two elder men, Honorable Jeffrey, I think Mr. Gray and the other man, tell me one thing about North Caicos people. When one ton, all ton.
Yeah.
North Caicos people done ton, man. This race in North Caicos is like the race between Karen Anetta or Anetta Karen and the PNP.
Yep.
Okay, this is a one-horse race. Just keep focus and win.
Yep.
Thank
And
you.
I'll go to Honorable Boyce here on this one too. Honorable Boyce, winning back to back is hard. You know what I mean? In any circumstance, right? I mean, to get anything consecutively. The first time you win, you're new, and everybody might be wanting a change. You were fortunate to win back-to-back elections.
Blow out the second one. Blow him out.
You know, how do you make sure that you secure that second one, right? What's that message got to look like? What is it? You know, what goes into making sure to securing a back-to-back victory?
Well, once you're given the first opportunity to win, a good politician should never lose their
Yep.
seat.
Amen.
You just need that one first time.
The first time, right?
And once you got that time, take care of your constituents.
Definitely.
Take care of your constituency. Speak for them in Parliament. Fight for them. Make sure you provide opportunities for them.
Yep.
And once you've done it once,
Yep.
you must be better. You can be better next time.
Yep.
More committed and more, and you shouldn't lose again.
No,
a
no.
politician, a good politician,
Yeah, let me
should never win
let me
once.
ask another follow-up on that, because the first time you won, you were in opposition, right?
Yes.
So you had probably a lot more time to focus on your constituency. The second time you won, you were in government and you were minister, right? Tell me about that part of the experience, because Honorable Musgrove, for example, right, taking care of a constituency and a ministerial post. Explain to people how difficult that is to do. Not necessarily difficult, but what the challenges that goes into that, and what type of person you have to be able to balance both.
Well, I can see that he threw his whole self into it, like we did, and
Yep.
our former chairman, and we have, my colleagues right here.
Yep.
We were so committed, even though there were times we had to stay in Grand Turk. While we in Grand Turk, Jeffrey will tell you, we would work until 12
Yep.
at night,
Yes, I can attest to that.
eating fattening food like fried chicken and bread, But we would work
Yep.
up to late hours of the night.
Yep.
And then we would see our people anytime they wanted to see
Yep.
us. Always open. Your office door
It's always
or your
open.
house door, your home,
Yep.
to your constituents.
And I guess too, it seems so weird. I know I'm going off track here, but I would think like 2003, for example, cell phones weren't even what they were today. There was no WhatsApp. There was literally just call it. You know what I mean? Maybe a text, but it would charge you probably like 50 cents a text. So you don't want to text nobody. So I could just imagine. It feels like so long ago, right?
Yeah.
But just to think of the things that MPs and ministers have today. You could get chats open and you just keep informed. Yeah, it's just crazy. But Honorable Robinson, to you, of course, a North Caicos man as well. That the race is somewhat like. The Skip said, it's it seems strongly in the PNP favor, but with all things, you have to, you have to make sure you run that final lap properly. You know what I mean? You don't want to do the Usain Bolt and pull up at the end.
Yeah.
So and especially speak to the people of North Caicos and how important. What they expect out of a candidate in this last weaning moments, because you ran in the constituency Q, if I remember correctly,
Yeah.
when it was a split constituency.
Yeah,
That's
I was
correct.
in what was then North Caicos West.
North Caicos West, yeah.
Right, it was North Caicos West and North Caicos East. That's what North Caicos was. Ball Creek on
Yeah.
the east, Cubit being
In
Sandy
South-
Point
yeah, on the,
on the west.
Yeah.
Now, for me, it took a long time for me to get over. But in 2006, I told my brother Clarence, who was the opposition person at the time, I say, my son, my brother, you might be able to beat another PNP in this constituency, but you can't beat me. And I proved that by putting a 2-1 on him
Yep.
in 2003. Now, once you've gotten over that initial hurdle, the real hurdle, if you keep building on that, building momentum, you could continue to win,
Yeah.
right? Because for me, the challenge in the North Caicos West was Whitby.
Yeah.
I will only get 4 votes, 5 votes. And in 2007, I came in Sandy Point. I beat him in Sandy Point. Then when Whitby came in, I beat him in Whitby. I turned to the girl. I said, "Boy, you can't catch me no more." And then I offloaded it in Q because I was always winning Q,
Yep.
winning Sandy Point,
Yep.
but got a shellacking in Whitby.
Yep.
So what I'm saying is that you have to be mindful of the persons in the constituency, and try and touch every member in the constituency, because in North Caucus, we are touchy-feely type people. We like
Yep.
to see you. We
Yep.
like to hear you. We like to feel you. We
Yep.
like to see you to come around, roast corn, and break bread with no matter how
Yep.
simple the person is. Because there was a lady in the constituency, she's now passed, and she couldn't call my name correctly for nothing.
Yep.
But if anybody said anything about me, man, they're in trouble.
Yeah, big trouble.
Right? So I think in the last couple of years, Arnold Musgrove has ingrained himself into North Caucus
Yep.
and Middle Caucus.
Yep.
Because even though Middle Caucus has a smaller population now,
Yep.
but it's both. And for me, I got deep roots in both of those islands.
Yep.
Say for instance in Larmers.
Yep.
My great grandmother was from Larmers.
Yep.
My grandmother was from Larmers, right? My grandmother on the Robinson side was a blonde-haired woman from Bambara.
Yep.
And then my grandfather was from Robinson Hill and Kangbar. Right? Then you come into Q, you got the Misicks and the Forbes in Q. So what I'm saying is that our family is ingrained in North and Middle. So I understand what Honorable Musgrove has to deal with. And the thing of it is, in the last couple of years, Honorable Musgrove has delivered for North Caucus and Middle Caucus like nothing ever before.
Yep.
Because if you take the ferry on any day now, you'll see tourists going from
Yep.
Sandy Point,
Yep.
from Belfield Landing, from Belfield Landing all the way up to the creek. Because years ago, they built the roads in Middle and North, say from creek to creek.
Yep.
And then they put the causeway between the link North and Middle.
The PNP did that.
PNP, yeah, the PNP did. That's what I'm saying. The PNP did
Honorable
that,
Boyce was on that team.
right?
I don't know
But
all.
when it was being done, nobody,
Yep.
the people say in their right mind saying, why put all this road in there, right? It wasn't for economic reason.
No.
It was for social reason to
Yep.
keep the communities
Together,
connected,
yeah.
right? And now it's paying off.
Yep.
If you go into Middle Caucus now, you hear Wild Car Run. Wild Car Run is running wild with development in that area, because the infrastructure is there.
Yep.
And once the infrastructure is there and people can get to it, it's easy.
Yep.
So. With the port development and Belfield Landing and additional stuff being on the drawing board for there, that's going well. And then you have again in Ball Creek, we have the Clifford Gardner International Airport.
Yep.
That is being redeveloped. So you have the port and the airport, and they just opened something in Kangbar the other day. The Eric Arthur. Airport, the restaurant at the airport, so people can go there as well. So all the pieces of the puzzle for North and Middle Caucus are getting together. And I've heard one night, I think it was the premier, saying that they're going to have a flyover that they're going to connect from Provo all the way to South Caucus, right? And this has been the dream forever and ever, amen.
Yep.
But now that the Turkish Caucasus Islands government has the view of it all to invest in those things, it's going to come to a fruition.
Yep.
I mean, because you dream a dream, you see a vision, but you need money,
to get it done.
man, and material to make it action.
Definitely.
Before
And-
you go
ahead.
to him, I just want to say how much admiration I have for Honorable Musgrove.
Yes.
I didn't want to lose an opportunity to say that.
Yep.
And I think that he is continuing right in
Yep.
our former Premier, Honorable Michael Misick, footsteps,
Yep.
who did so much for North Caucasus.
Yep.
And I admire him, and I know that North Caucasus will return him
Confidently.
government, yes.
Yep.
And so all he need to do is give God thanks, brace himself, and work it. The
Yep.
strategy that he needs for election day,
Yep.
he shouldn't disclose it.
No, of course
Um,
not. Top
But,
secret.
you know, be prepared, Honorable Musgrove, to win
love
again
you.
and win big.
Definitely. And I'll end this one off with our native twin islander. Well, I'm from North, you're from Middle.
Former minister.
Former minister,
Former
and
MP.
you know those people really well too, just like Honorable Robinson. You
They
guys
like
are
'em
both
too much.
Yeah,
Too much.
too much?
Too
No,
much.
never too much, never too much. But to you, of course, you know Honorable Musgrove pretty well as well too, and you keep intimate there, and and to be honest, North and Middle has been somewhat of what I would call a swing island, because of the last 3 election, it's gone PNP, PDM, PNP, question mark, right? So what is it going to take to make sure that now stays within the basket of the PNP?
Well, I think North and Middle Caucus are of the same DNA, really. And
Yeah, we're the same people, just like Bahamas and Turks and Caicos stay the
and
same.
Honorable Musgrove, is I see him as a politician similar to me in those days.
Yep.
When I first got into politics and ran in 1999, I ran against a giant. As a
yeah.
matter of fact, the deputy, a minister, and the deputy premier.
Yep.
I edged him by 4 votes. And like Honorable Ben alluded to just now, if you have the opportunity to win,
Yep.
you should never lose again.
Yep.
That's right.
Wow.
Okay? And what I did, I was in opposition, but what I did, I built this relationship with my people.
Yep.
I mean, there was no house that I didn't go to. Everybody knew me. I knew the thought processes of everybody. So, it was very, very easy for me then on. And when we had the 2003 election, he came back again and I blew him away.
Yep.
It's like nothing. In opposition.
Yep.
All right? It's just that you have to build this relationship with your people. You can't do this thing alone,
I think Honorable Musgrove did that.
Yep.
Oh, definitely.
I'm getting to that. I'm getting to that, Skipper.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you, I looked at him as something like how I was in the day. He is building that relationship with his
Yes.
people.
Yes.
And again, he only have to remind them what this government, this PNP government has done for this
Yep.
country in the last
You
4
keep
years.
saying that,
It's-
and
yes.
I love that you keep
Yeah,
going back to
you
that.
have to keep on doing that, 'cause
Yep.
that is your record.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
That is what the people see. That is what the people feel.
Yep.
Okay? And North and Middle Caucus in particular, have quite a lot of people who are fairly up in age. And this move that the government has made, where nobody over the age of 70 or 70 or older
Yep.
shall live with less than $1,000 a
Wow.
month. That's
Wow.
immaculate.
Big.
That is big.
Big.
Right.
And I want to say something to that in the debate, and people might have missed this, but the leader of the opposition said they didn't do much. They only raised it from $700 to $1,000, but he missed something. Yeah, some people might have gone from 7 to 100, but
Absolutely.
some people were getting
Well,
nothing.
Absolutely
right?
nothing.
But to say that that's
Absolutely
not much
nothing.
or whatever, because he was doing a lot of theatrics. But when he said this
That's
to me,
right.
I said, "Wow,
Yeah.
what a kick in the people's face who are now benefiting from this." See?
Patrick, it's amazing to know, what that has done
Yep.
for people throughout the Turks and the Caicos
Yes,
Islands.
yes.
I knew particularly a man and his wife. They were here living with no pension at all.
Wow.
Nothing. And still carrying a mortgage because they had to,
Yep.
start over recently.
Yep.
Right? And they got it, so they're now getting
$2,000. Could you
a month.
imagine? And
could help with
But
your
no,
mortgage.
Yeah.
they were back paid and
Yep.
collected at that time
Exactly.
about $18,000, $20,000.
Exactly.
That go a long way.
Long way.
How?
Yes.
You tell me how. Anybody who benefited from that,
Yep.
right, would not vote.
Native.
Yep.
Native, belongers of this country,
Yep.
will not reward this
Yep.
government.
Yep. And these are
You know?
people that put the work in many years ago. For
Absolutely.
whatever reason,
Absolutely.
didn't get on
Absolutely.
it. And
the days ago, because of their work, their hard labor has got us where we are today.
Exactly.
So there is no apology for that. Okay, I'm going back to Chuck.
Yep.
So, building this relationship with your people and collecting ideas of how we're going to move our, this is
Yep.
personal, our islands, what we need to do, and because it's not him. And once
Yep.
he do that,
Yep.
and remind the people what this government has done for them, there is no way.
Yep.
Well, actually, I've learned that several permanent, long-time members of the People's Democratic Movement
Yep.
Switch.
has switched
Yep.
and gone with Chuck.
Yep. Yep.
And it has to do with two things. Chuck has that personal relationship with
Yeah.
people, and his party has delivered.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So I think he's
Definitely.
going to be just fine.
Definitely.
Can I be that one to interject?
Yep.
Because we don't want to, I want to springboard from what he said.
Yep.
I was listening to Parliament, and then I heard the Premier repeated it as well after Parliament, where the leader of the opposition was saying, referring to these good social programs, referring to it as the PNP
Yep.
want to make this country a welfare state.
Yes.
Listen here.
Yep.
Listen here, people.
Yep.
If you vote for them,
Yep.
it sounds like they will definitely take away these social programs.
Yep.
Can you imagine our elderly going back to 100 and something special needs used to get 120
Yep.
or 300
Yeah.
or even 700 per month? Can you imagine? When I looked on the face of some of the older people in Five Keys who've been living, with lack,
Yep.
they are so thankful for this opportunity where they can now pay their bills, eat right, more nutritious food, and so forth. People, don't change your government.
Definitely.
But Boyce, while you're on the topic about the social fabric that's being developed, right? It's not only for the elderly, but for those working mothers in particular,
Yes.
they can leave their
Yes.
younger children
Yep.
in a safe environment in a
Yes.
daycare center,
Yes.
sponsored by the government.
Yes.
It's sponsored by the government, but run by private
Entities,
So,
yep.
so the private sector is benefiting from
Yes.
this. The persons who have to go to work and leave their children in a safe environment are benefiting from it. So the money that they would normally have had to pay for daycare,
That's it.
that goes into their pocket, that creates another nest egg, that creates another opportunity for them to be upward mobile.
Yep.
Because then they can save more
Yep.
of a nest egg to build that house that they want to build.
Yep.
And then the government is coming on the other side and they're talking about 50% discount on land, a mortgage corporation that's going to be very, very soon in
Yes.
full operation.
Yep.
The first $20 million has already been put aside for it. So these things are intertwined
Yep.
to make the Turks and Caicos Islands. You hear them talking about living your best lives
Yep.
in TCI
Yep.
at this time. They're making it a reality.
Yes.
That's right.
It's not a figment of someone's imagination.
No.
And for the leader of the opposition to downplay it
Yeah.
as being so depressing
Yep.
for this to be happening. You know,
That's why you can't run at large.
it would take the wind out of his sail, so to speak.
I didn't go there. You went there, Skip, and we're gonna come to that at some point for sure. No, for sure.
So
Yeah.
yes, you know.
No, I definitely agree with that. When I was watching the debate, he asked the question. He kept on asking the premier, "Do you live in the same country we live in?" I wanted to ask him the same question. Do you live where we live? Because as to the things that you alluded to, there's so many things in motion, right? That we know that this next 5 years, I call it the explosion years.
Yeah.
Where all of these things are gonna just, and so keeping it where you got it is so important.
Yep.
But we got to keep trucking it along because the people want to hear about these races. ED5. going on to another giant of a race, of course, we have, do I want to say the undisputed champion in some ways, Honorable Akira Misick. She is. She's been that, you know what I mean?
3 times.
She's been 3 times and, going for 4 times. I didn't do my history, so I don't know of how many people in the House of Assembly have won 4 times a seat. I'm sure it has to be Honorable Saunders, the GOAT. I got to put him up there. Probably Honorable Derek Taylor. Of course, the Premier has probably won 4 times as well, and I think he's going for a 4th time this time as well, if I'm not mistaken. And then I guess it has to be Honorable Akira Misick,
Yeah, but the thing is,
it's
how is this consecutive?
Consecutive times.
That's the difference.
That's the big difference. Yeah.
That's the difference right now.
Exactly.
Because
Exactly.
remember, Honorable Norman Sanders had a broken spade. Honorable the leader, our current premier had a broken spell, right?
Yep.
And Honorable Derek Taylor, he got beaten in the last go round.
That's true. That would have made him 4 times.
Good for him.
Wow.
I mean, so
I guess her and the Premier now are looking for 4 consecutive, if I'm not mistaken, which is rare air. I'm going to start with the lady on the show here who knows, who's been in there, and you would have been a 3-time consecutive winner. Now, 4-time consecutive winner, and just women in politics, just in general. I don't like to genderize politics because anybody, if you have the capability, you should do it. But I want to just say specifically because the story of Honorable Akira Misick, for some reason, reminds me of you in some ways. But I know that when she spoke about her story on the stage at her rally this last week, she said she was an unknown. She was someone that the party took a chance on, and now she's become a giant. What do you say? And I want to use this opportunity to somebody out there that's looking to say, hey, should I get into politics? They're not going to give me a chance because I'm not known. I don't even know where to start. What do you say now looking at yourself and someone like Honorable Akira Misick, where she is today, to someone like that who's saying, hey, what would you say to them that this can be done, and what encouragement would you give to them looking at her story and your story per se?
Well, first I want to say that Honorable Akira have a great attitude towards work and people.
Yep.
And so if you're looking to enter politics, first you must love people, you must love what you're going to do.
Yep.
Politics is about people. It's about people's needs and their opportunities, and you must inspire them. And so she's an inspiration.
Yep.
I remember when she became the first female, well, it wasn't first, but the female deputy premier.
Yep.
We all looked up to her. And she never disappointed us.
Yep.
She was the deputy premier to
Honorable
Honorable
Ewing, right?
Rufus
Yep.
Ewing. And I was so proud of that.
Yep.
That he gave her such an opportunity.
Yep.
Because entering politics at a very young age and maintained her constituency, her seat.
Yep.
And so we can take pages out of her book if you're looking to get involved into politics.
And that's so
She
crazy.
sang her constituency.
That's crazy to think,
She loved them. They say she walked from house to house.
Yeah. Yes.
And when you listen to her in Parliament, she is so focused on her constituency. It's like there's no other.
Yeah. Yeah. I was just thinking about that when you put that in perspective. I think she's going to be entering year 13 in politics, I believe, if she's elected again.
She will be.
And, to think about that, I don't want to put anybody age out there, but she had to have been a 20-year-old in her 20s or late 20s
very young.
to be the deputy premier. And, just thinking of that, and where, like the question I posed, anything could be possible if you, like you say, focus on people.
Yes.
And really want to go after it, eh? And I'll just ask you one last question on this. For her, of course, or anybody in this situation, we've seen this, that we're, like I say, I guess similar question that I made about the 84 race. That focus that you have to maintain right now. What would be going through your mind, like going into your 3rd term of being elected? What was going through your mind then? Were you feet up Or was it just like the first time?
Oh, the butterflies was
You
always
still had
there.
butterflies?
I still had
Yep.
butterflies.
Even though you know the writing in your mind is kind of on the wall, and you still had the butterflies.
Still had the butterflies
Yep.
because you're trusting people,
Yes.
right? People are trusting you with
Yep.
their future,
Yep.
and you are trusting people
Yes.
with your dreams.
Yes. Yes.
True,
Yes.
And so you
Yep.
have the butterflies.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, in politics, a lot of people trick you.
Yeah. Oh boy.
It's all politics.
You just put a laugh on there, and you know why I got to go to you, Honorable Robinson, because you already said, and I remember being a young boy in 1999, and when the results came in, you know, it was on my birthday. Believe it or not, I always told the premier, "Don't ever have an election on my birthday." My mom is the biggest PNP ever, and I was cheering against the PNP in that election because I was like, "She did this on my birthday." Get the results, but then a part of me still wanted the PNP to win. Was a little disappointed. And then I think 2003, again, you didn't feel, like you said again, and it takes that third time for you to get over that hump. And you laugh when you said people looking you in the eye, you know. So you probably experienced that somewhere. People say, hey, I got you. But when they get there,
Yeah, I definitely experienced that. My first disappointment was after the election was over. Fellas came up to me and said, "Man, Royal, we vote for you." Man, Royal. I say, "Hey, stop. One thing Royal, Stevenson, Robinson can do is con. And if all of you had voted for me, I would have won. So don't come. Don't come with that, right? So yes, people try to do that to you, right? But you have to be able to sift through the raindrop and get really down to nuts and bolts and be able to count your voters. I know there's a lady some years ago. She's now passed in North Caicos West, and I was courting this lady for a while, right? Mm-hmm. And I thought I had her just where she should be, right?
Yep.
And she told me, "said Royal, yes, I can support you. I'm with you this time," and da 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 da. And so she couldn't read and write, so somebody had to mark the ballot for her, right?
Yep.
So as she came into the polling station and stuff for that, I said, "Let me see what she's going to do now." Man, and the person asked her, say, which wasn't right. The person did ask her, right?
Yep.
Who you voting for?
Yep.
And she had this Ken scutter, PDM. I said, well, Ambi, you know what? I just saw this woman a couple of days ago. And she come in here and she going to vote.
She did it to you, eh?
So yes, those kinds of things do happen to you. But by and large, my grandfather told me years ago, I was a little boy.
Yeah.
He said, church is like politics too. Mm-hmm. Say, anytime you have your name up for anything, make sure that you can vote for yourself.
Yep.
Because that's the one guarantee vote that you have.
Wow.
Yeah.
Everything else is dependent on other people's trust and forthrightness and their ability to come through at a time for you.
Yeah.
Right? So for me, every time after I made sure that I was my name was on the ballot. My name was on the ballot in North Caicos West until a couple of years ago.
You start to reside over there.
Oh yeah, because I mean the truth of the matter, I still pay light bill in North Caicos.
Yep.
The house that I put electricity in when I was living over there because I had to show residency, right?
Yeah.
So I had my light bill still comes, Unit 1Q, right? But what I'm saying is that you have an opportunity.
Yep.
And you have to trust people to a certain extent, but then you have to shutter the noise, right? Shutter the noise and get to the crux of the matter, and be able to read people to a greater larger extent. And Honorable Boyce is correct. Sometimes when they try to trick on you, when they come into the voting area,
Yep.
they can't face you. Because for me, every time I stayed to the polls from the time it opened, it's a very short period of time that I would leave the poll because I want to see you. I want to look in your face, right? And because if you try to dog me, I can catch you in the next go round. Right? So yes, you have those things. And back to Honorable Kira, when we're in the House together in the opposition,
Yep.
right? The two of us used to carry the load for the PNP at that time. The Honorable Leader of the Opposition, the current Premier, would most days, and he said, and I feel like that, he'll say, well, man, you go and start.
Yeah.
And there's never a time that he could call on me that I wasn't ready to start. Because every time I went to the House at a time,
Yeah.
I came prepared to start.
Yep.
And it's either AK or myself who would start in lieu of the leader of the opposition at
Yep.
that time. So we both used to be tag team.
Yep.
So the leader of the opposition didn't have to carry much can. We would carry the can for him. And we even now have a great affinity towards one another. She'll always come, and she'll always come and seek me out.
Yep.
You know, I would just feel that big beer hug. You know.
Yeah.
So she's going to do well.
Yep.
She's going to do well. I am a little bit sorry for Mr. Cox. I mean,
Yep.
he's totally out of his depth. I think he's trying.
Yep.
Because make no mistake, you have to start somewhere.
Yep.
And it isn't easy for someone to put his or her name forward
Oh no.
to face the music, you know.
No. Definitely.
Because let me tell you, on election night, when you lose,
Yep.
you're only by yourself.
That's the truth.
Yep, you feel it.
And you have to be sufficiently strong in yourself and your head to be able to say, well, boy, I've done this, I've taken one for the team. And and for me, I was able to get back up and go back on the bicycle and go again. And for me, that you check it. That's unprecedented that someone has done that, because I had faith, because I had the opportunity to run in Grand Turk,
Yep.
West Road in particular. And I said, no, I can take my chances at North Cape as West.
Yep.
Win, lose, or draw.
Yep.
And it was lose till I won.
Yep. Definitely. I'm going to go to you, Brother Skip.
I think my two honorable colleagues said it well. My contribution is very short.
Yep.
The youth vote knows Honorable Kira, knows her contribution, knows how well and much she has done. And this term, she was actually ill.
Yes.
She went through a period where she was hospitalized, but you won't hear her crying.
Yep.
She fought through it, maintained her constituency, and I'm sure that she is going to blow it out.
Definitely.
All right, that's my contribution.
Definitely. Honorable Hall, I know there's, I think you vote in ED5 as well, right? Do you?
Absolutely.
You do, right?
Absolutely.
I know me and
I'm a voter.
me and you share a commonality here. This is our constituency.
Our MP, right?
Our MP.
Oh,
So
yeah.
there we go.
I'm a voter, and make no mistake, I'm voting for Akira Misick.
Hey, all the way.
Thank you. But yeah, I have a lot of respect for Honorable Akira Misick. And some of it is very personal too. She actually laid the foundation
Yep.
for my eventual acquittal.
Yes.
All right. She took it on from the very beginning, and during the time that I had to be going to court every day, that was some
Wow.
stressful years. All right. She was, well, because she was my MP, but also, you know, we're personal friends. But she occasionally called me and encouraged me,
Cheer you up.
cheer me up, and things like that, and I appreciate that so very well. But then, that's not only for me. She do that for all of her constituents. I am serious. She do that for all her constituents. Akira is one of the brightest minds that we have in the PNP
Yep.
right now.
Maybe
Yep.
the Turks and Caicos, eh?
Yes, and
Yeah.
her contribution to the party
Yep.
and to this country is unmeasurable.
Yep.
All right, and I expect great things out of that lady.
Yes.
Okay. When we have the House of Assembly, it's a pleasure to sit down and listen to her.
Yeah.
How she dissects a bill.
Yep.
And make it clear, bring clarity to it so that any common man
Yep.
would understand, oh, that is what's going on.
Yep.
Or that is what the government intend to do. She brings clarity to it.
Yep.
And I remember specifically when they had the asylum bill that was debated, and she stood on the floor and explained that right there. I mean, anybody who wanted to could understand what the bill is all about.
Yep.
And after that, later on that night, I received a text because she has a team around her that helps her, and she communicates with her constituents so well. I received a text that afternoon, and she says like, "Hey neighbor," because all of us
Yeah.
neighbor.
No, for sure.
Hey neighbor, the light on the corner past the Methodist school going down by Frog is out. I apologize for that, but I'll make sure that we get that on tomorrow.
Yep.
Like, wow.
Yep. Yep.
I mean, she would go from explaining a bill to you, and then
Yep.
she always check to see if your safety is intact.
Yes.
I mean, the lady I would just vote for her 1,000 times.
Yep.
So, I don't think she has any problem with the Lombe. She appeals to, her constituency is well, it's, I don't want to say, but anyway, we do not have so much expatriates, voting expatriate in Leeward and Long Bay, and so she actually appealed to a different kind of voter, if you like. Okay, and so most, if not all, of her voters understand where she is coming from, understand where she wants to take the country, right? And understand how she wants to build a community, putting in parks and sidewalks, and
Yes.
schools, and there's, she's really, really done a lot for that constituency, and
Yes.
I see so much more.
Yep.
If we would only give her a chance, but I'm sure that Leeward Lombe would give her that opportunity.
Definitely.
And the premier this is his last term. You
Yep.
would never know.
Yep.
Leeward and Lombe could have high hopes that the
boy.
premier will emerge from that constituency.
You're already on another election. we only in 2025. Let's
The
not.
constituency, believe it or not, I believe it or not, that all she has to do is continue
Yep.
doing what she has to do, what
Yep.
she's doing right now, and remind the
Yep.
people of Leeward and Lombe what this government has done for the country.
Definitely.
She'll be all right.
Definitely. We're 60% of the way through now, guys. So ED6, of course, we have the bite. A very interesting race to some degree. I mean, it's a rematch. I think this is one of two rematches that we have. We have one in the bite, we have one in Wheeling from the last election. Rematches are always interesting because, I believe the last election, Honorable Stubbs won the bite by about 68 votes or 69 votes, somewhere in there. So the margin is, we would say that there's still some room there that something could happen. And it seems to be a little quiet. I don't know if anybody else feels that way, that, the bite, you're not hearing too much about the matchup. So I just want to know, in a matchup like this or a situation like this, these last days seems like for both candidates is going to make maybe the difference in what both candidates might be putting in. I know, Honorable Hall, you said that most people's minds are made up. I feel like this is one of those, I don't know why I have a feeling about it this time, about this constituency, that this last week is what's going to make the difference in this constituency here. And I'll start with you, Honorable Hall. You won by 4 votes in your first go around. Tell me about that last week. What should Honorable Stubbs be focusing on right now? Where should his mindset be right now? And then even the competitor that he's running against, right, in this rematch. Maybe some people might, similar to South Caicos in a way, you have sort of a more mature candidate versus the younger candidate, right? And sometimes that appeals to a certain vote. What's your take on the race there?
Well, I don't. When I said that, everybody, all of the voters has probably made up their mind. I think they have, but that doesn't mean that you should take that for granted,
Yep.
even to the last hour.
Yes. Yes.
Right? You
Honorable
need to
Boyce
go
taught
out
me
there,
that.
get out there,
Uh-huh.
and make yourself
So,
visible.
exactly.
And that's what Honorable Stubbs needs to do.
Yep.
He has one good thing on his side. Right? He is a part of the PNP government who has done a great deal for this country.
Exactly.
He has to show the people that, remind the people that. Sometimes people just need reminding. Remind the people about that.
Yep.
Right? Do not at this time concentrate on your opponent. Okay? You concentrate on your people.
Yep.
Get your electorates.
Yes.
Keep on them.
Yes.
You keep focus.
Yes.
Everything is going to be all right.
Yes. And I got to go to you, Skip. You're almost like the resident chairman of the Bite as well too. You've been chairman before. You know, the Bite is a constituency that is ever changing in a lot of ways, right? You know, the Bite is not just the traditional Lower Bite. It's the Bite. It's Jupa Sound. It's part of Venetian. It's it's a lot of areas in there, even parts of what we would consider Long Bay, right? Well, yeah, it is the Bite. So even Long Bay proper is the Bite. So in that whole scope of things, you know, where is the candidates, either or candidate, where is their focus being, and when their priorities are stretched, how would you consider that in telling them, okay, you know, you need to being present, but how do you be present in all of these different areas in different ways right now in this type of time?
Well, when it comes to the Bite, during the last campaign cycle, actually was in a runoff against Honorable Stubbs.
Yeah.
All right, and just a lot of people surprised when I lost in that runoff.
Yep.
I actually threw my 100% support behind Honorable Stubbs.
Yep.
100% support behind the PNP because I know the good of the PNP.
Amen.
As a rookie candidate, all right, I would give Honorable Stubbs this. Honorable Stubbs went in there, and the Bite needed some cleaning up. You know, first thing he do, try build some garbage bins. Try clean the area up. Because when the tourists leave off Grace Bay,
Yep.
and then they come to Lower Bite Road,
Yep.
you don't want the Lower Bite Road be looking like trash. And King Yellow always say Kingston is Cabina Center. You don't want Cabina Center look like that. Okay? He has maintained a relationship with the people of Kingston. You can look at it as King Yellow will always say this. There's been a general in that area. All right? Up further, there are some people in the Bite, up further near to the end by the Ganza board.
Yep.
That I was surprised that they embrace and is a part of Honorable Stubbs' team.
Yep.
All right? When you look at the Messams, they ain't going nowhere. They're with
Yep.
us in the PNP.
Yep.
All right, when you come down in Juba Sound and Venetian Road,
Yep.
all right, Honorable Stubbs set a presence on this side of the road. And a
Yep.
lot of that presence was left by the former premier, I must say, Honorable Galmo Williams. Because we didn't have no roads,
Yep.
we didn't have no real infrastructure before Honorable Williams.
Yeah. Got in
All
there.
right?
Yep.
And Honorable Galmo took that on.
Yep.
Honorable Galmo and Honorable his wife Althea taught us how to go over the list, how to go to every single voter.
Yep.
You know, you got a part of coming up the highway with the Haitian community there
Yep.
behind Haitian church.
Yep.
You got to sit back and communicate with them, which I think Honorable Stubbs had been doing. The graveyard bill, the cemetery bill might seem like nothing.
Yep.
All right, but when we lay our people to rest in the future,
Yep.
we want to make sure that it's in clean environments that you can go and revisit years down and show people. Juba Sound, oh man, this dude put paved sidewalks all throughout Juba Sound. And in my area, we rowing him now because we want our area.
To look like Jupa Sound.
Or better, because the ladies in our area, we want a community center or a park for our children.
Yes.
All right. And we want the roads down through Tower Drive to be fixed.
Yep.
We've seen him bring different teams from different ministries there and
Yep.
point it out. And then when he go, we ain't see it happen. So we wondering if there was some
Yep.
fork in the road for him.
Yep.
But I saw right in front of my cousin Eva Harvey. Man, every time when we had big rain here, that area would totally flood.
Yep.
And Drew, the other day, Honorable J. Stubbs, Matthew J. Stubbs, went there and stand up and watched those people put a new drain there.
Mm-hmm.
During that high rain.
Yep.
That was one of the first areas in the whole of Leeward and Long Bay area to be drained off.
Yes.
All right? This man has a compassion for and the care for the community.
Yep.
Sometimes when I drive around and we have a chat group in there that anyone's available to do. When we complain about the garbage, Honorable J put bins in every area in the community and say, listen, for the next 2 weeks, all your big fridges or whatever,
Go in
throw
there.
them on the
Yep.
inside.
Yep.
Do we want more?
Yep.
Yes. Okay? But I'm sure that if we stick with what we have, and once we could communicate with this gentleman, he's no longer a rookie.
No.
He know which area to go and who to ask for this and how to ask for that. And I'm sure the bite is stay with Jay.
Yep.
All right? Is stay with Jay. This ain't about, like Honorable Robbins, this ain't about friend or family.
Yep.
The future of our country depends on who is elected in the next general election.
Yep.
With Mr. Trump making such crucial decisions, we need someone who could go to overseas and be able to represent Turks and Caicos.
Yep.
The PNP is the team for that.
Yes.
The bite, stay with Jay.
Definitely.
I'm a voter in
Me
the
and you,
bite.
we's a voter too.
We got two biters. Yes, you do
He
follow
and
the
Juba
bite.
Sound, we're
Yep.
trying to get like
Yep.
Juba Sound.
Yeah.
Yep.
And from the time Honorable Stubbs won, I've been a strong supporter of his. So is Honorable Karen
Yep.
Lancy. I've
Yep.
seen her. She's
yeah.
now back from overseas and stuff
Yep.
like that. And she's been very much involved in his campaign.
Yep.
Because you have to have that connection, right? Because you might not be able to speak to everyone,
Exactly. Yep.
but you need to have someone who can speak to the person and get the message across. Because your way of getting the message across might not come across easily for somebody else, right? So you need somebody to say, and my thing has always been, I speak to you,
Yep.
and you tell me, yeah, right, I can vote for you.
Yeah.
I say, I'm a Boyce. I just finished talking to the fella, Go check and see what he's doing. And you need that back channel,
Yeah.
right? You need somebody else to support you.
Yes.
Because that's the only way you're going to have a true feeling of
What's going on, yeah.
what it is. And Jay Stubbs has that. I was going through the list with them last night for a while, and you can feel the back channels that he has organized to help him and assist him and get him to where he's supposed to be.
Going into every house.
Yeah, so I feel real confident in his future in the bite. It was a hard road in the first election because a lot of people know the name.
Yep.
They know the name J. Stubbs,
Yep.
but they know the person.
Yes.
So he's now been able to overcome that,
Yep.
right? And now the community is coming solid behind him, and the bite is a very, very diverse community. You have the old traditional bite area down Kingstown area in there. Then you have the area over here and the area over here, and every area is different, right? All these different communities, but it come to form the bite, right? And as some people like to say, the bite is right. You used to have the slogan a couple of years ago.
Yep.
The bite is right.
Yep.
I think it was Honorable Karen Delancey that used to use that
Yeah, that was her
particular slogan,
She
right?
said it at the rally the other day, too.
Right.
Yeah, the bite is right.
The bite is right. And she was the person who coined that.
Yep.
But And the bite is for and it will be for quite some time the real bread basket of the Turks and Caicos Islands, because all the major hotels
And the bite.
are in the bite.
Yep.
But it's moving away a little bit, because if you look at what's been happening, you see a lot of these Airbnbs and these very, very nice upscale buildings that are being, not on the beach, but away from the beach. So a lot of
Legion
people
Road, yes.
are coming into that community. And so, like I said, the dynamics has changed a little bit, but it's very changed in a very positive way. And I think that Honorable Stubbs has reached out and touched the vast majority of the people in that constituency. So I feel confident that he is going to do well. Yes, Mr. Audie is being trying, but I think that the dynamics of the traditional Bite community is not in support of Audie. Sorry, they're diehard now Honorable Stubbs, because there are not some of the old traditional families. A lot of them were traditionally PDM,
Yep.
and that, and I think we have broken that back.
Yep.
And once we've broken that back, all Stubbs are doing is cementing where he is, and he's going to do very well in the Bite.
Yep. Honorable Boyce, you want to put the icing on 86?
Yeah, I would just shout out to the Bite people,
Yep.
encouraging them to re-elect
Yep.
Honorable J. Stubbs with the kind of progressive program this government have for the next 5 years.
Yep.
The Bite don't want an opposition.
Yep.
You want your member of parliament
To be on the
who are
government
going
side.
to agitate for you for all your needs. So please vote for Honorable J. Keep it where you got it.
Keep it where you got it.
Don't rock the boat. He's a very good candidate,
Yep.
and he's been doing his best in the Bite.
I was telling my mom the other night to put the last icing on the cake. I said, you know, I think even God loves the Bite so much that even he gave a coin toss and we still won that. So I don't know. It's something about the Bite that is just right for PNP, you know. So going on to 87, 70% of the way through, the biggest constituency in the country, the one that, you know, all the prognosticators say if you win this one historically, you win it all. And so, you know, we have an incumbent versus, as Honorable Robinson would say, somebody that crossed over, which usually doesn't work out well. You know, Honorable Sammy Bean, you know, has done a lot of
Reclaim
work.
your dream.
Has done a lot of work there in 87 and has been, just on the ground and doing a lot of things. Again, like one of these other races, you know, one of the things that made this race interesting is that, you know, the PDM took a while to get settled with a candidate there, right? First you had Ms. Higgs, and then, you know, for personal reasons, she had to leave the race. And then it felt like it was vacant. It felt like for a while that you didn't know if nobody was coming. You almost thought, well, hey, we could pencil this one in. And then we get, you know, Mr. Finbar Grant there running against Honorable Bean. You know, I guess we could make this one a little quicker, but still want to hear your opinions on, you know, just really and truly where you think this race is. I mean, for me, it's hard for me to see it any other way, other than Honorable Bean, you know, getting it at the rally. The energy seemed well. You know, everything that I'm hearing on the ground, it seems well. But at the same point in time, you know, you still have a challenger and you just never know how these things go. So in a race like this where someone comes so late in the game and trying to build that momentum, what would a guy like Honorable Sammy Bean have to guard against just to make sure, that he doesn't, that he makes sure he brings it home. And not only brings it home, because I think in a situation like this, you want to bring it home with a strong result, right? You don't want just, a few votes here, a few votes there. You want to feel strong going into this. So Honorable Boyce, I would bring it to you. And how do you feel about this race and just what Honorable Bean needs to be doing here?
Well, I think in the first instance, people it was hard to find a matchup candidate
Yep.
for Samuel
Yep.
because he will win.
Yes. Yes.
He's a winner.
Yeah.
He will work hard. He will do whatever it takes
Yep.
to win his seat.
Yep.
Amen.
And so I believe they've been juggling people around because they just couldn't find
Yep.
a perfect match for him because he would be demoral.
Yep.
So, we can cut that seat.
Yep.
He's
Definitely.
done some stuff, rose out of his pocket.
Yep.
And so, he's kind-hearted.
Yep.
And Q-Town, the people love him.
Yep. Definitely.
Yes, so-
Definitely. Perfect candidate. Perfect. Almost seems like a perfect match
Yeah.
for that constituency. Yeah, I'll go to you, Honorable Hall, in a race like this, and of course we could be, honest and quick, but
Yeah.
just like where do you stand?
I don't think it's a perfect match. Semi, Honorable Semi, we call him Semi for
Yeah, yep.
That guy is a winner.
Yep.
And he's not afraid of challenges.
No.
He takes on any challenge.
Yep.
And Semi is going to find a way to win,
Yep.
even if it looks like there's no way. Right? He had the biggest rally, I believe. I mean, his rally was just awesome.
No, I don't know, man. I gotta
That's-
I gotta
you
give
didn't
him a
go to that.
second distance to 85. That one on
After
Friday
50
was,
years.
oh my goodness
Where they come
gracious.
from?
Wow, I don't know where they.
after
yeah.
5 keys.
But after, yeah, but
come
5
on.
keys was great too. I mean, we had yeah.
5 keys was great. And
Yes,
we're coming
yes.
to 5 keys.
Yeah.
But I think
Yes.
I
No, but
think his own was.
there we go, 87.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. So if that's any indication
Yeah.
of what Sam is capable of pulling off anything.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so Sam is the go-to man.
Yep.
And trust me, he's going to bring that seat home.
Yes, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
And he has a team,
Oh,
and that lady that runs the
Yeah,
show,
Miss Morris,
Miss
yeah.
Morris,
Yeah.
man, she'll be in your ears every day.
What about Jagger? What the name?
Yeah.
What's his name?
Sandy. Yeah.
Sandy Jagger.
Yeah, the whole team. Yeah.
Yes.
Miss
Sandy.
Gibson, everybody. The 87 team, I must say, 87 and 89, they have the teams, 80-10,
And let me
Honorable Lowe's,
interject
their
this.
teams, they are just
Let me
top
interject this
notch.
again, like I said, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like we say, we got to sell our story.
Yeah.
Okay? And the PNP opened a hotel.
Yes. Yes.
Before, the only hotel in this district belonged to Honorable Boyce.
Yep.
Correct?
Yes.
Now there is a hotel going down there. What is the name? The Strand?
The Strand. Yes.
Strand.
Yes.
And the road to the Strand.
Oh, perfect.
Come on.
Yep.
All right?
Yep.
PNP paved the roads in the Glass Shack Road,
Yep.
and had the sidewalks there.
Yep.
All right? Okay? The people of this constituency are Sami, and Sami is doing a great job. And you know what? Some people want Sami like Skipper. He don't mind if you call him Sami. You don't have to put no honorable.
Yeah.
You have to put honorable out of respect.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
But Sami is a
Yep.
go-to guy.
Yep.
All right?
Yep.
The other guy is my friend,
Yep.
but I have something to wipe his eyes when he after this, all right?
You'll welcome him back. You'll welcome him back into
Back
the
in the
fold.
PNP,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
that's
yeah,
another
yeah.
matchup.
Yeah.
They try to grab and,
Yeah.
and dismantle a PNP family, but
Yeah.
that don't work.
No, definitely. We'll go right into it. 88, Blue Hills. Very, very. This one here, I will say for me. I know I've been saying this all night. I think this one here. If once I hear this one called, I'll know. I could almost put my pillow down and I could say, "Hey, this is the one here."
Depends where
You
it
know,
is,
Yeah.
because a lot of people from the other side have said, "You know what? This is coming back to blue. This is and whatnot." But I've been seeing Honorable Howell work, and I take it back to that duck example, right, where the duck is on the top. But boy, that overconfidence could really, really cost you if you don't think the work is being done. And Blue Hills, we were able to flip that the last time, and it stands with the PNP now. I believe this is the one time where I would say that these last 48 hours, I think, are going to make a big
break,
difference, make or break for either candidate in this race. And I believe this is where if any ground to be gained would be here. And so I'll start with you, Brother
But
Skip.
what I have to say about the Blue Hills race, Blue Hills have been the same way like
Yep.
There was another constituency that you say go backward and forward
Yeah,
with the
yeah.
candidate. All right, my question to the people of Blue Hills is, where has the challenger been
Yep.
in the past 4 years?
Yep. Yep.
Where has he been in the past 4 years? What issue has the challenger fought for or went ahead and championed for this area?
I like that.
Okay? What issue? Even if because down there a lot depends on families, and they're both from the same family.
Yep.
Both are two good gentlemen.
Yep. Yep.
So it's not trying to tear anyone down.
Yep.
My question is, what type of representation have you gotten from the challenger in the past 4 years? And I want to know, since it is none, is this the same type of representation that you want to work for in the future, and especially if he is in opposition? I'll leave that.
Yeah, and I'll say to you, Honorable Hall, like I said again, this was one of the tightest races last time anyway, right? So, adding this type of dynamic, it only spells to be tight again, right? That the margins of error are very thin. When it's that thin, what do you guard against in this type of time? How and not without giving too much strategy away, but what do you guard against at this point in time?
Yeah, if I was Randy, Honorable Howell, I would my list would be my Bible.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I would go through that every hour, every hour,
yep,
and fine tune that where I have a comfortable majority, and work that, keep that. Make sure you go into Friday morning with that.
Yep.
How you do that? These last couple days, use your phone. The constituency is big. Use your phone, form little groups, right, and reach out to those people.
Yep.
Just to assure yourself that that bubble is coming your way.
Yep.
Talk some and leave some now.
Yep.
Okay.
And Honorable Boyce, you want to chime in here? Same question that I gave Honorable Hall, and then and just Honorable Howell in this last 48 hours, what would be your last minute advice here to him, without giving too much away, of course.
Yeah, well, you're not going to give hardly anything away.
Yeah.
Because I personally called him
Yep.
a couple times, encouraged him,
Wow.
and told him what to do.
Yep.
Wow, you did that already.
And he's doing that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Definitely.
He's going to win.
Definitely. You say that with so much confidence. You so sure of that?
She campaigning with that.
I'm working.
Yep. Yep. Like I said, this
I'm
one.
working in every constituency.
No, of course. This one for me, of course, I, everybody, we're helping everybody, but this one for me is just like the one where I'm like, when that time is called, when you say the butterflies, this is the one I'm anticipating the most, because I know this will tell a lot of the story of our re-election story, if that's to say that the least, that I know that this one is as close as probably as it's going to be, if I'm just being objectively, just because, like I know Mr. Skip said, the people are from the same families, and and there's so much to go this way or that way. So I know it's right down the middle, of where it could be. Honorable Robinson.
All Honorable Howard has to remember is what took him over the line the last time.
Yes.
Right? Because what took him over, he slayed one of the giants in Blue Hills and in Providenciales at that time. Because Honorable Gulray Ewan was not an easy pushover.
No.
By no stretch of the imagination.
No.
Wow.
He was a people's person. He was always in the community, always doing things for the young people in the community. So Honorable Howard had to overcome all of that to win.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, last that election, I had a sub underground team working that constituency and in the Wheeling constituency. Those are the two constituencies that I worked very, very hard in the last election. And it paid off. But I told both of those young men, I say, remember what got you here.
Yes.
You have your foot in the door, and you have to work to keep
Your foot-
in the house.
Yes.
Okay? And so far, both of the, I'm putting the two together right now.
Yep.
Both of those honorable members of the House have been doing exactly that. Honorable Kyle, you can see more of him than Honorable Howell, because now that Honorable Knowles is a minister, he's conquered one of the major issues that plague his constituency, and he's overcome that. So he has great confidence going into that. Honorable Howells is a little bit more low key, but still working, and that is going to keep the momentum in his favor. Walking is from the same, as I said, from the same family, but he's been in the community, but the visibility of him is no match for what used to be on Ewing. There's his uncle, but there's a stark difference between the two approaches. So I still, as it stands, even though I think it might be tight like the last time, I still give the edge to Honorable Howells.
Definitely.
And the race.
And I guess, to the people of Blue Hills, you got to get out and get those votes
Yes.
cast for sure.
Yes,
Don't leave any votes at home.
No,
don't overthink it. Getting there. 89. Oh boy, I think this one I would say is the most. I think this is the people's favorite to see, because we have.
That's a matchup.
This is a matchup where I think people will be anxiously waiting to see the results here, eh? And this one here, 89. You have, of course, the incumbent, Honorable Rachel Taylor, Minister of Education, and then of course you have Pastor Bishop Brian Cox. Very different personalities, to say the least. Very different approaches to how they want to campaign. A very a constituency that, of course, both of them are pretty entwined in, and so you have a matchup here, in my opinion, that's that anything could happen per se, but at the same point in time, what I would say what a young person said to me. They said to me, I know what should happen on election day. I know the result that should come through on election day, but there's still an air of, just a pause, right? And that pause is not being sure what the electors are going to do, or making sure people get to the polls and all of that. So I guess I'll take this one from the standpoint of how important is voter turnout for this constituency, because I think that could be an underestimated proponent of a race like this. And I'll go with you, Honorable Robinson, voter turnout.
Voter turnout is very, very, very key in this constituency. Because remember now, when Honorable Taylor won last time, she blew Honorable Ashford out of the water. I told him about 3 weeks before the election, the day of the election, I say, because we are good friends. I'm good friends with our family.
Domino partner.
Huh?
That's a domino partner.
Yeah. Right? I say, boy, Rachel's going to put the only on your donkey that you wouldn't believe. I told him, I said to him one day before, I say, let me show you something, right? You're coming out with these posters and stickers and stuff like that. Right? I say, you took too long to come out of the shadow of Honorable Cartwright Robinson, the premier. You have not established your real bona fides.
Yes.
And it's kind of late in the game to do it. And you can get beat. Now, I didn't believe he's going to get beat that badly. Now, I'm going to tell you the honest truth. I didn't believe it was going to be that badly. But I had spoken to a lot of people in the constituency, and they were telling me that this is this and this and from the pool of persons that I had spoken to, I was really confident that Honorable Taylor was going to beat him. But like I say, I wasn't sure of the quantum with which he was going to get beaten. Voter turnout is key. Driving your people to the polls is very, very key, particularly in that constituency. Because remember now, that constituency is very big and wide. And people from all over the place, and all walks of life, from the fishermen to the sophisticated people and down in Chalkstown and the Ray and around the other side. But what I'm saying is that within that diverse community, you have to have people on the ground mobilized to get your people to the poll. You have that voters list. You have your people dedicated to bringing those persons to the poll, and that's gonna be the key. Because I remember when we had that by-election. Remember Honorable Boyce in 5 Keys. We had headquarters at Vic's George F. Police. And I was in the team, and we ran the PDM crew from where they were straight down behind Sonny Rigby plant. We moved them, we keep moving them and putting the tent because we keep pressure all day.
We end up taking the headquarters.
Oh yeah, right. There's some people that were speaking Creole to some of the Asian people who went into it. We go and call Benji. We went call Benji. Said, Benji, come boy, we need Creole down here, boy. We need some Creole down here. Because these fellas are Creoleness down here. I can't.
Skin tight and J.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is that you have to have your Jones on the ground. You have to have the people watching out for you. And people who have your back, and they gotta drive that nail straight down.
Definitely.
And you're talking about straight down the line. This is a straight down the line
type of situation.
Yeah. You got to bring them out. You got to bring all the heavy hitters and ED9 have to turn out. I know Mr. Keys is very, very good there in 5 Keys, and he's going to do what was necessary to get that turnout there. Sweet Tea is going to be on literate up with chicken and this and that, the other, make sure that this thing's happening. And this isn't treating anything like that.
No.
But this is what I'm saying is that the push that needs to be coming, it's going to come. You can't leave anything undone. No student undone. No voter that's left home and say, man, I wake up too late. No, sir. Everybody got to get to the poll that day.
Definitely. I'm going to go over to you, Skip. I'm going to skip over from the side.
You can skip over, and I'm glad you skip over to me, because I can tell you one thing, and I want to say it now. Honorable Boyce.
Yes.
I'm glad you on this team now, all right? Listen. Me, I am so happy.
Yes.
All right? Because this woman, this lady,
is
the bedrock of 5 Keys.
Definitely.
All right? And with her on the team, with Honorable Taylor, election day, that one done, man. That's all. That done.
Boy, I almost want to end it there, but I can't end it without hearing from my 2 veterans, and I got to hear from Honorable Boyce. But that right there was like the endorsement of, like, Honorable Hall.
Yes.
I know you've been working with Honorable Rachel, and you've been keeping your ears on the ground, your feet on the ground, so...
I practically move into 5 Keys.
Yeah.
Let me tell you. Honorable Taylor remind me so much about Honorable Boyce's talent's not funny.
When
it comes to her constituency and the care and the love and the compassion she has for her constituency. This woman is a workaholic, right? And she has so much planned for her constituency till it's unbelievable. And one thing about her, again, she is not afraid to ask for assistance from anybody. As long as it's going to benefit 5 Keys, the 5 Keys constituency. People who are without water for a long time. I mean, water pipes are running, free connection. People are concerned about crime and things. She has already identified somewhere to put a police station in 5 Keys.
We had one there, but I ain't gonna get into that.
No, I mean, really, that's a mobile thing. I'm talking about a real police station she's gonna have there.
This guy, mean the one where they raise the rent on.
Okay. And the programs that she have the school programs that she has. She even put on programs where single mothers, especially, or people who wants to learn English, can go and do at the community center. Our community center is so
vibrant,
active.
Yes.
She's building a soccer team, a soccer field in the community
Boxing.
center.
Oh.
Yes.
You know, and this woman is very close to having even a major hotel development in Five Keys.
Yes.
Somebody's going to get burned
Yes.
because this woman is on fire.
Yep. Ooh.
All right? So, listen,
Yep.
Oh.
I am telling you from what I've seen, what I've noticed in Five Keys, and the work that she's putting in,
Yep.
Honorable Rachel Taylor will return to Parliament.
There we go. There we go.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Of
from
course,
veteran.
I got to bring it to the still the go to 5 keys. I gotta call it for sure. Honorable Taylor is making her way up to those status, but Honorable Boyce, I want you to dive in as well, and take it over from where Honorable Hall left it, and why people should, the story of Honorable Taylor. I remember being on the election broadcast last year, and I was saying, to me, it almost brought tears to my eyes. Somebody who lost came back and stuck to it. Kind of remind me of Honorable Robinson here. Stuck to it and came back, and then to perform the way she did. What are you expecting performance-wise from her and the people of 5 Keys?
Listen, she did exactly what I did when I lost in 1995.
Yes.
I didn't only go on the podium and endorse Honorable Rachel Taylor, my neighbor, next door
Yes.
neighbor. I walked through 5 Keys with her.
Yes.
Wow.
I went into half of the homes in 5 Keys. And there are no tricksters
No.
in those homes.
No.
They're real PNP Honorable Rachel Taylor supporters.
Yes.
And although she did well last time, Honorable Robinson, she is going to win 90% of the votes. When I came back from 5 Keys, I said to my husband, I think Bishop may get 10 votes. Because Honorable Taylor is doing so well. And listen, every house we went to,
Yep.
she already been to those houses repeatedly. Because the people, they have conversations of when you was here, when she was here last time.
Yes.
And we were followed
Yep.
while we were there.
You mean follow?
Because the other team, they were on our trail to see what we were doing,
Yep.
because Honorable Taylor know her voters list.
Yep.
And that's number one. That's your Bible. A politician's Bible to
true.
winning the election is to know your voters list and know where your supporters live. And the other side, they were looking to see where we were going so that they could go to the same houses.
Same houses,
They
right?
did not know
Yeah.
where their voters live. They don't know their voters list.
Yeah.
What they did was put up all these signs about fail.
Yep.
But like I told Honorable Taylor, no publicity is bad publicity. I'm glad they used her beautiful picture.
Yeah, they put more pictures up for her
And
than that.
they, all these videos that's going to people's phone, all this smear campaign, women have a very hard time in politics when they're running against a man. And what was surprising to see that it's a bishop. I just didn't expect him
Wow.
to do such a smear campaign with a former teacher in our constituency who taught our children and then move up to principal and in Parliament, and he, as a bishop, you're calling her failure, you go in recording. Some of the poor people houses that I went to, when I say poor, I don't mean in terms of
Yep.
literally poor, but they didn't even know that they were on these videos.
Yeah. Wow. Yes.
They took these videos of these people unbeknown to them and post them. Some of the people are not even voters. They don't
Wow.
know their voters list.
Yes.
So Honorable Taylor, one of the things, even when I got a little upset about
Yep.
some of the things that I saw during my walkabout with her, she didn't. She
Yep.
remained calm,
Yes.
sensible, and this woman don't even throw no mud.
Yep.
You understand? She do not
Yep.
talk evil
No.
about her opponent.
Yep.
I'm looking at her and say, although I see some of me in you, girl, I ain't there
How did
yet.
anyone want?
You know?
Yeah, no, for sure. No, I
She
mean,
don't talk evil
yeah, no, for sure.
about him. She would just turn off and say, well, let's go to another area.
Yep.
You'll come back here later. We don't need any confrontations. Nice, sensible. The people love her dearly,
Yep.
and they're going to vote for her.
Oh, yeah.
And we are proud of the work that she's done now.
Yes.
Honorable Hall talk about
Proud of it in
the
education.
development that they saw in the redevelopment of the community center and the water project and all of that. But what they don't know, this woman would go personally to people's house every day to fill out an application for them,
Wow.
fill out a form, write a letter. Every need that comes up, Honorable Taylor phone right on the spot and fix it.
Yep.
She's answered.
And listen here, I can leave 5 keys in her hands forever and ever,
Yep. Amen.
and always fight against anybody who want to try to take 5 keys people out of her hands, because they will not
Yes.
treat
Wow.
them good like she is doing.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Wow.
They won't. She is the best hands to take care of the people of 5 keys. And 5 keys is with her. Let me
Yep.
tell you, I couldn't find 10 PDMs and 5 keys.
You couldn't
That's
even
lovely.
find Brian and
That
find.
one
I could not.
He's not on that list. I know that for sure.
It's gonna win
Yeah,
big.
like you said, your daddy always say, be able to vote
Vote
for
for
yourself. Trust me. No, but now we get down to the last one, ED10. My good friend, my schoolmate, Honorable Knowles. The second rematch that we have, very, this matchup in all sense of the words just feels like you could feel the tide has turned, in some ways, it sometimes in politics you can tell when a person's career might be just coming to an end, and for sometimes that could be a sad thing or whatever it might be, but you just could feel the wave, you could feel a wave, a new wave, even at the rally in ED10, that this is now, the people of ED10 have now commit themselves to something new, something refreshing, something that they took a chance on, right? That they maybe were unsure about, but it feels so sure now. But with that being said, still a anything can happen type thing in some ways. But from my perspective, the way I'm looking at this race is, has the incumbent done enough over the last 4 years? This will be a cement to the work that has been done. And I believe that it's going to happen, and I believe that Honorable Knowles has worked really hard. He's been very visible and represented well, and taken care of some of the issues that he said he was going to do there with the Progressive National Party, of course. But how does in his situation, that unknown, what would be the unknown for him right now, going against somebody he has ran against, of course, as opposition. So now you're running against it from a different perspective, and now the perspective is now, I'm pointing the finger at you for everything now, and what you haven't done. So how does he now continue to sell that message and to continue to represent from the new perspective that he has? And I guess I'll start with you, Honorable Robinson.
Okay, what is happening there is basically this, right? Honorable Delroy Williams was the man down in Lillian. We worked to get him out. It was a 3 vote, I think it was 3
Three
vote,
votes, yeah,
3
three
vote
votes.
margin, and they couldn't the vote much about 110 times.
Yep.
Still came out the same way.
Yep.
And once he lost at that point, he just disappeared from the Wheeling scene. And it was only in the very last moments that he said that the people said that he should come back and challenge for the seat.
Yeah.
But by that time, he has ceded so much ground to Honorable Knowles. The catching up is going to be hard and difficult, because Honorable Knowles has put in the work before the last campaign, and all through this term after he has won, he's been putting in work.
Yep.
His change, like someone said the other night, before he came there, I couldn't sleep at night. I could keep my windows closed because of the stench and smell and smoke emanated from the dump. That's a thing of the past.
Yep.
And Honorable Knowles was the person driving that specific project.
Yes.
Nobody else.
He was. Yep.
He was the man on the ground. So his career in politics in Wheeling was going to rise and fall on the backs of that particular project. And he's delivered for the people of Wheeling in that respect. Then he's a consummate community man. Young man with a young family, but he's being committed to the community, and he's been putting in the various bits and pieces of infrastructure to make the lives of Wheeling people better. So they have something to directly point to in their community that this young man has done to uplift that community. So I'll be hard pressed to see the voters of Wheeling at this stage turning back. And Honorable Williams, in the last couple of days on the campaign trail, hasn't done himself any favors by the way he's present himself to the voters in the constituency. Right? You know, everybody has his or her fault or flaw. I have mine. I know that for a fact. I stammer sometimes, you know, and such like. But I know for sure that most often, probably sometimes when I get really excited about something, I would. But I've been able to, over time, to overcome that deficiency within myself. It's a conscious decision to. So you have to be always on your, as people say, on your P's and Q's when you're in the public spotlight. You know, I laughed some years ago when I went on this program for that the Rock of Jesus. I ran a program there, 2 hours a day, 3 times per week.
Yeah, I remember that.
Wow.
Right? I ran it for nearly 4 years, and I ran that for the PMP. I started with sponsorship for, you know, and
Rock of Jesus for the BNB?
no,
That's why you can't find no PDM votes in 5 keys.
right? And you know, sometimes my expressions could be very loud and loose sometimes, right? And the fella say, "Roy, where you going to Christian show? You going to mess up?" I say, "Boy, let me tell you something. I am not going to slip one day." I said, "My mother has never heard me cuss. My Aunt Cedar, God rest her soul, has never heard me cuss. People tell them that I do. They never saw me drink. Okay? So I know how to contain and control myself. Okay? And there's never been a time that I'm going to misstep. And I know Honorable Knowles has done the work. He's put in the time and the effort in that community. And every time I see him, I give him a word of encouragement. All the time. I say, you are going to do well. Keep on doing what you're doing. Don't mind the naysayers. Because I tell all my children, I say 95% of the people that come and tell you things are going to be negative. You're going to be 5% of encouragement and genuine encouragement from people out there. So don't mind the naysayers. Listen with one ear, be careful with the other ear.
Wow.
You understand? So he himself is grounded within the community, right? Not like, so he he eats, sleeps, and wake Wheeling.
Yep.
He's never left the community. He's there. You can call him anytime, every day.
Yep.
Even as a minister, and I keep telling him, I say, look, if somebody calls you and you can't answer the phone at the time, make sure you get back to them. Mightn't be the very minute,
but you
get back to them, because it's very, very important, because you don't know what they're calling you for.
Yep.
Get back to them, and he's been doing that quite a bit, so that people know him and love him, and the community, and particularly the young people, because in these growing communities, the young people are making the difference.
Yes.
And he is showing them how to be engaged, how to bring themselves up, how to re-educate themselves, how to get involved in a business opportunity.
Yep.
And they tell you, Wheeling has the largest untapped landmass in Provo.
Yep.
And that is going to be the shining star of Providencialis. I know Honorable Rachel Taylor says it's going to be 5 keys. I have no quarrel with that. But realistically and logistically, down and there, because it has vast potential for growth and development.
Yep.
Totally untapped. So you can create a city
Yep.
from
Right
scratch.
From scratch, right there.
Right
Yep.
there. Without the confines and constrictions that other areas have.
Yep.
Right? So he got a very long road ahead of him.
Yep.
And all he has to do, keep focused and steadfast.
Yep.
That's all he needs to do. Keep focused and steadfast, and he'll do what he has to do. I think he must have reached into the end of everything now.
Lord of mercy, yeah.
Well,
You put the icing on it, but I'm going to let everybody, just for the sake of fairness, just get into it.
briefly, I'd like to say, right, because part of this scream all the time is about housing.
Yep.
Got this young man on the side here,
That's right.
Honorable Jeffrey Hall, started the real housing program.
Yep.
That's right.
You know what it is?
Yep.
In the Wheeling area.
Really,
Yep.
really, yep.
Okay?
Yep.
Housing. Who developed those homes? PNP.
Yep.
Honorable Kyle Knowles is a rookie candidate. And for what I've seen this young man done, I went ahead, put the water on the
Yes.
dump to make sure
Yep.
that you don't have that smoke. And from the Grant's gas station all the way down to the entrance of that area, people can walk smoothly on the sidewalks
Yes.
now.
Yes.
All right? This is a rookie politician.
Yes.
All right? And the work he has done and his community, every other month or whatever, you have this fish fry so he can meet with the community.
Yep.
And every elderly person in that community, when it's time for their birthday,
Yep.
he ain't care if they pink, yellow, blue, green, if they bell, shell, or doing well. He make sure and
Yeah.
give them their flowers and their roses in that
Yes.
constituency. He is a constant presence in that constituency. The person that's challenged him is from the constituency but hasn't been there in 4 years. All right? So
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's the same program.
Yep.
Honorable Kyle Knowles, listen, when the people of Wheeling go to the poll, I'm asking you to shade in that bubble next to the shell. All right? Miss Camp, Mary, who endorsed them. Man, oh man. Hey, listen, may God just continue to bless his work.
Yes.
Look for the shell.
Definitely. Honorable Hall?
I believe that one of the reasons he won narrowly over a veteran politician was because of the dump site.
Yep.
Okay, and he took care of that.
Yep.
That's no longer an issue. But during those 4 years, I think his now challenger, same guy coming back again, I think he disappeared. Right? And this young man worked and worked and worked and built a community, put out fires. he has added like over 100 new voters to the list. So, Mr. Williams, oh, he hardly know what the list is because he just came back.
Got to go back to Bible school, eh?
He met a community that is bind together,
Yep.
have hope,
Yes.
and renewed, and people can breathe easier. He
Yes.
met these things going on, and he met some people on the list that he never know.
Yep.
I don't think he's gonna make it,
Yep.
right? And I think Kyle is a worker, and I think if he continue, he's young. If he continue, I think he has a bright future ahead of him.
Yep.
So, to the people of Leeward, I think you should keep it.
Wheeling.
Wheeling.
And Leeward.
Keep it.
Yeah.
Keep
Yeah,
it.
all of you and everyone keep it.
Yeah.
Keep it exactly where you
got it.
have it.
Yes.
And for
Boyce.
me, I love Honorable Williams Former. We started together in Parliament.
Yep.
Love him dearly.
Yep.
I see him as family.
Mm-hmm.
But when I make the comparison
Mhm.
with him and Honorable Knowles, oh, how I love Honorable Knowles' work ethics,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
his attitude, his disposition, and commitment to the constituency. And so, the way he worked for the last 4 years, he deserved to win.
Amen.
Yeah. Wow.
And I'm going to ask the people of Wheeling to vote him back in. Let him continue to serve you.
Yep.
And I don't want to say anything else because
Yes.
I love them both.
Yep.
Right.
But I want to see Honorable Knowles win that election
Definitely.
because he will take care of his constituency very well.
Definitely. Definitely.
Yeah.
Now, of course, I know we went way over an hour tonight, so I don't want to kill it too much more. But we still got this. We still got the flow. I mean, it's election eve, pretty much, and so everybody's tuned in. Of course, the at large. We won't go into each individual one, but what I do want to just point out is I think it's important to highlight your leaders. The leader at the top that's going to take the full ship home. Honorable Washington Misick, Charles Washington Misick. He would never want me to do this or pay an ado to him, but this is his last opportunity probably that he's going to run. He said he's not running again, of course, and of course how the Constitution is set up consecutively, he would be ineligible to run as premier again. So just some last words as to what the people and why the people should not only just stick with him, but the at-large candidates at large. And I'll just give each person a minute just to speak to him as a leader and just as to why they should support all of our at-large candidates. So I'll start with you, Skip.
The people of the Turks and Caicos, again, this is, like you say, last minute countdown for the election. Honorable Premier Washington Misick, Charles Washington Misick, has our country stable. There is a stable job market. There's a stable economy. There is programs for the youth, programs for the old, and more to come. This leader has proven that he could meet with any other leader in the world on an international stage. If we send, look at the two people now. If you are to choose between the two of them to go represent you in the United States, the United Nations, or London, Charles Washington Misick will do this country more justice than his challenger.
Definitely.
PNPs, don't skittle. When you go to the poll, look for the shell. Circle the bubble next to the shell. Next to the shell. Circle the bubble next to the shell. Straight down the line until you run out of shells.
Yep.
Okay? When you won't see no more shell, no more bubble. All right? PNP all the way.
Definitely. Honorable Hall for a minute.
For the last coming up to 4 years, I slept good at night. knowing that this country is in good hands. The Honorable Charles Washington Misick is a leader that I appreciate. He is the right person for this country right now. I depict him as a caring leader with a steady hand.
Amen.
He concentrated these last 4 years heavily on lifting us out of poverty. And that goes a great deal from the kids to the elderly.
Yep.
He is an institutionalized builder. He builds institutions such as the National Insurance Board, and we'll be building institutions such as the Mortgage Corporation, the credit union, and there is so much future for this country. This country looks so good in
Right.
the next 5 years that people, especially young people, are excited or could be
Excited. Yeah, definitely.
about what is about to happen to this country.
Yes.
Okay? And we can only achieve that through people like Charles Washington Misick, who have the ability to take us and to guide us into a safe future without bankrupting us. This country, I would encourage everybody to allow me to sleep for 5 more years by voting this government back into office.
Definitely. Honorable Boyce?
Yes. I want to realize the goals and the dreams of this party for the next 5 years. The Citizens Contract, the 2025 Manifesto.
Yes.
While there are new plans, just to think back on the 140
Achievements.
achievements, I called it, this was a people-centered 4 years. He touched lives. He definitely, like Honorable Jeffrey, he eradicated poverty.
Yes.
He helped our elderly, programs for our youth and single mothers, for special needs.
Wow.
I want to see the continuation of this government, people-centered government. I don't see it as a welfare government. I see it as people-centered
Yes.
government. And I would not like to see the other party go in there
Yep.
and take away those programs.
Yep.
People, vote for Honorable Washington Misick for the next 5 years. I have to endorse my husband, the editor of the Turks and Caicos Sun,
Yes.
Amen.
who said it the best in his editorial. He called him steady hands,
Steady.
a man that we can trust.
Trust.
Yep.
And I went back and I asked my husband, tell me about the age of all the leaders throughout the Caribbean, because I didn't want to use Donald Trump, who is 78. And he reminded me of Ralph Gonzalez in St. Vincent, who is 70 plus. And we came up during the time of very old leaders when we were elected, some walking with sticks, but their
Experience.
country trusted them. I trust this country with Honorable Washington. I am asking you all to please vote him back into power for the next 5 years. Let us realize our dreams. Let our people continue to live happily ever after. Don't rock the boat.
Don't rock it.
It's important to stabilize our country.
Yes.
Definitely.
Stabilize.
It's important. So come on board, even at this 11th hour. Undecided, if you do not know who to vote for, or if you have chosen your party, still change and vote for PNP. It's a great future. You know we are the scholarship government.
Yes.
You know that we are the one that builds institutions. And we are the ones who consider you for free. Look at what Honorable Rachel Taylor did with the community
Free.
college. Free. Why will you change a government to put in a new government who only will have the time to change desks and chair because they don't want the office that the PNP
What a time.
use? And they'll be wasting time. Don't
Yes.
change the government.
Definitely, definitely. Honorable Robinson, to top us off.
Yes. I came into frontline politics because of Honorable Washington Misick. In 91, when he took over the reins of government in 1991, I was a senior public servant. I was one of the senior permanent secretaries in the ministry. And I saw the vision that he was trying to set for the Turks and Caicos Islands people. And I was on board with him as a public servant more than some of his ministers in his cabinet at that time. And I went to bat for him against some of his ministers as a public servant. Because at that time, I can tell you the truth, I was a public servant, was a very vocal public servant.
Yep.
Okay. When the 1976 Constitution came into being, I was one of the persons who was at the Library Tennis Court, the Stephen James Hall,
Yep.
trying to advocate for those changes for us as a people of this country. So I came into frontline politics with my background, because my aunt, Honorable Rosita Butterfield, was in politics before. My adopted father was in politics before. My grandfather, Harold St. George's Robinson, was in politics before. So I came from a long line of politicians within my family. But I was on the margin, so to speak. But I was encouraged by the vision that Honorable Charles Washington Misick had for this country at that time. And I still do today. As things happen, you have to have a changing of the guard. But during his time in the last couple of years in particular, he's been running a mentorship program for the up-and-coming politicians.
Yeah.
If you remember, there was a program that he had up at prestigious properties.
The leadership,
Leadership
forum.
forum and stuff like that. All those things were being done to sensitize the young up-and-coming politician or anybody within the community to what the changes in this country will look like.
Yep.
And how to be on the forefront of those things, right? So I have no problem with his leadership. Yes, at times we had real man-to-man struggles because,
Yep.
I hard-headed sometimes and I got hot-headed sometimes too.
Yep.
And I don't like to back down.
Yep.
And he don't either.
No.
So, let's say 2 months might meet with two bulls with me. Sometimes we used to have those two bull fights.
Yeah.
Right? But at the end of the day, I've always been respectful towards him. You could never say one day that I was disrespectful towards him. So I have that utmost respect for him, even though I'm about 2 years older than him. Believe it or not, that's the fact of life. Yeah. So when people talk about his age and stuff like that, I say, man, you got to give and take sometimes. But I told one of my sons a couple of months ago, I said, boy, at 35 and 76, I can still run circles around you in some areas. So what I'm saying is that you have to have the mindset to do things.
Yep.
It starts with the mind, and the body will fall. Yes, this body I can't run like I used to run before. I can't sprint because I used to be a 1, 2, and 4 man when I was in school and after that. Those my races, right? But the difference between the two leaders right now, and the leader of the office is my cousin. Make no mistake about that, right? Mm-hmm. But like night and day, cheese and chalk.
Yep.
There's no real oomph for come from the leader of the opposition at this time in life. So I say, stick with the Progressive National Party, stick with the Honorable Charles Washington Misick for the next 5 years. Go to that page and the voters, the book that you have to sign and vote on. Look for the shell. Look for those 9 bubbles after you've done the one for your constituency. The one for the constituency is on the left.
Yep, hold it up.
The one for the constituency is on the left, and then to the right you have the various bubbles, right? As an example down to the bottom. So you have that, and you just look for the shell.
Yep.
And you bubble and bubble and bubble down the line for the shell.
Yep.
And once you've done that, and if you listen to what we've been saying here tonight with respect to the 10 constituencies, if you do what you're supposed to do for the representative on your 10 constituencies, and you support the chorus, which was the large candidate,
Yep.
just like you support the constituency candidate,
Yep.
you can't lose, because it will be highly impossible for you to vote for your candidate in resounding form and
Yep.
fashion and miss out on your nine at large.
Definitely.
So I have good hope and confidence that with the plurality of the votes that we're going to get in each of the constituencies, the 9 at-large candidates will come sweeping through the gates of Jerusalem on the 7th of February, which is 2.5 days from now. And by this time, Friday night,
Yep.
this time, you'll be singing hallelujah. Amen. Well done, my good and faithful servant.
Yep.
You serve us to the end,
Yep.
and here is your reward.
Amen.
Good night.
Vote PNP.
Vote PNP. Right down the line of the shell, bubbling.
Thank you. I think that's a area there just for us to end on, and I'm just grateful that this is probably my last show too before the election, and victory show, and I think we went and we gave the voters everything they need to know going into the election come Friday, and so my last thing to the audience is just Friday, February 7th, ladies and gentlemen. It's the day that is given to you to express your democratic right. Take every opportunity that you have. You deserve it, you've earned it, and it's your right to go to the poll, and regardless of what party you're voting for, just use your democratic right because it belongs to you, and don't let anybody take that away from you. But I will go on to say that I would encourage you and I would urge you to vote for the PNP party straight down the line, resoundingly, based on what our panelists said here today, based on the campaign that you have seen over the last, what believes to be like the last year, and all the things that have happened over the last 4 years. This Progressive National Party is willing and is able and has shown you that time and time again, and is ready for this work, as they did sign up for that work over 4 years ago. So I'm here to endorse all the candidates of the Progressive National Party, and I'm here to urge you once again to go to the polls and vote PNP straight down the line. Keep it where you got it. And thank you for all the amazing time that you've given me the opportunity to speak to you, the people, and to bring forward to you, the people, the candidates of the Progressive National Party, the stalwarts of the Progressive National Party, and just other members out of the community that have came on the show thus far. And I will see you probably after election, which will hopefully, and which I feel very confidently, will be a victory episode. So thank you again, Turks and Caicos. Have a beautiful evening.
Amen.
Thank you.
Diggy diggity bum bum bay, diggy diggity bum bum bay, diggy diggity bum bum bay. We vote in PNP. Hey, hey, hey. Everybody voting, they voting in time. Shelling, yes we shelling. They voting PNP, PNP down the line, PNP down the line. PNP down the line. There was voting, oh yeah, BNB. We voting, we voting, we voting, oh yeah, BNB. Everybody voting, they voting in time. Shelling, yes we shelling. They voting BNB, BNB down the line. We voting, BNB down the line. BNB down the line. Let me go, let me go, let me go, let me go. Vote, 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 vote. BNB down the line. Vote, 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 vote. BNB down the line. Vote, 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 vote. BNB down the line. You voted for BNB this election. Help me sing your spot. Down the line. Down the line. Let's go. Down the line, 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 line. I can't hear y'all. Down the line. Come down the line. Down the line, 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 line. We go and yes we go. Down, vote, vote, vote. BNB down the line. Vote, 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 vote, BNB. Diggy diggity bum bum bay, diggy diggity bum bum bay, diggy diggity bum bum bay. We voting BNB. Hey, hey, hey. Everybody voting, they voting in time. Shelling, yes we shelling. They voting BNB, BNB down the line. BNB down the line. We voting, BNB down the line. We voting, we voting. There was this lady, she don't know what to do. Come and let me show you what to do. I said, come on, baby, vote BNB down the line. Vote BNB down the line. Vote BNB down the line. There was this lady, she don't know what to do. Come on, let me show ya. I said, come on, baby, vote BNB down the line. Vote BNB down the line. Vote BNB down the line. 1, 2, 3, hey. Vote, 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 vote. BNB down the line. 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 We voting, we voting, we voting, we voting, BNB. We voting, we voting, we voting, we voting, BNB. We voting, we vote. When we go to the polls, we go yeah, BNB. We voting, we voting, we voting, we voting, BNB. Everybody voting, they voting in time. Shelling, yes we shelling. They voting BNB, BNB down the line. We voting, BNB down the line. BNB down the line. Let me go, let me go, let me go, let me go. Vote, 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 vote. BNB down the line. Vote, 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 vote. BNB down the line. Vote, 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 vote. BNB down the line. You voted for BNB this election. Help me sing your spot. Down the line. Down the line. Let's go. Down the line, 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 line. I can't hear y'all. Down the line. Come down the line. Down the line, 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 line. We go and yes we go. Down, vote, vote, vote. BNB down the line. Vote, 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 vote, BNB. Diggy diggity bum bum bay, diggy diggity bum bum bay, diggy diggity bum bum bay. We voting BNB. Hey, hey, hey. Everybody voting, they voting in time. Shelling, yes we shelling. They voting BNB, BNB down the line. down the line.